Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another episode of the Music Mondays podcast. I'm your host, Slays. Welcome on in, my friends. Happy Monday. This is episode 234 of the MM podcast. How we doing, man? We got Ghost coming through with a 7 months for kicking off the stream. Thank you so much, homie. Welcome back to the squad and family. We appreciate you, my friend. Let's fucking go. Thank you for the 7. Yeah, that's crazy. 7's actually fucking nuts. It doesn't even feel like 7. Well, actually, it kind of does. It kind of does feel like 7 for sure. But thank you so much, homie. I appreciate it. But yeah, no, we're good. We're chilling. We're vibing. Another Monday in the books, my friends. So, let's continue on here. You guys know the deal. We're gonna do some weekly recap jazz. We're gonna talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. We'll talk about recruiting, we'll talk SoundCloud, and then we're going to dive into some submissions. I have a pretty good YouTube video planned for this week, so we don't have to record anything today. So no discussion segment. It'll be a relatively quick one, for sure. But, you guys know the deal. Let's talk weekly recap jazz. In that point now, yeah, right, goes. Yeah, I agree. I totally agree, my friend. But yeah, you guys know the drill. Let's get into it. Let's talk weekly recap stuff. So, what did you miss over the last week or so here at Music Mondays? So, per usual, Music Mondays basic logo t-shirts are still in stock and available. We still have smalls, mediums, and larges. United States shipping only, $20 flat. Definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email if that's something you're interested in. Heading into Tuesday, following the live show, like here tonight, the full high-quality version of the Music Mondays podcast can be found on the Music Mondays Patreon every single Tuesday following the live show. So again, if you want to go clip it, you want to go archive it, you want to go download the show, you want to go do anything like that, it is available on the Patreon for early access. So definitely go check that out. Heading into Wednesday, SoundCloud Sunday submissions open every single Wednesday. So again, if you want to submit for our weekly SoundCloud playlist that drops every single Sunday, definitely keep your eyes peeled during Wednesdays, because those submissions do go live. And of course, we do some audio podcast promo on Wednesday night, so Wednesday's usually pretty stacked for us. Heading into Thursday, a brand new YouTube upload went live where I spoke about the July 2025 schedule, where I kind of break down the rest of this month, what we're working on, and things like that. So if you want a quick little July update, that is available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel. So again, like I said, definitely go check that out and go show that some love. Following the YouTube upload, episode 234 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on all audio platforms. That's Google, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, all that good jazz. That is available right now on all audio platforms. So definitely go check that out. And huge shout out to everybody that submitted to episode 233. That was a banger. And then, of course, we had a brand new roster announcement. So huge shout out to the homie Tomo. They are joining the Music Mondays writing team. So I'm definitely excited to get a new roster member on the team and actually start filling out some of these slots. Because I think we're looking to fill at least like 2 or 3 more slots as far as like writers and designers go and things like that. So make sure you go show them some love. And I'm definitely excited to get some of their written work up on the site. So that was Thursday. Actually, a really stacked Thursday, I won't lie to you. Thursday was definitely busy for us, 100%. And then heading into Friday, a brand new article went live by the homie Blank Thought. They broke down their mid-year top 10 movies of 2025. I like those pieces a lot just because, you know, a lot of creators have, you know, just like more different inspirations, but also when it comes to different art forms, they can inspire music in, you know, a lot of different ways, right? Whether it's video games, sports, movies, physical art, things like that. So that's definitely a really good piece. And Blank Thought definitely picked out some really crazy movies for 2025. So definitely go check that out and go show Blank Thought some love on their written pieces. That was Friday. Heading into Saturday, episode 233 of the Music Mondays podcast is available right now on our YouTube channel. That does drop every single Saturday. So if you guys like to go watch it over there on YouTube, that is available along with every single other episode. Again, if you want to go pop it on the TV, you know, you prefer to watch the show on YouTube or anything like that, you want to go screen record it on YouTube, that's also valid as well. So definitely go check that out and go show episode 233 some love. Heading into Sunday, SoundCloud Sunday Volume 195 is available right now on the Music Monday SoundCloud. That was curated by me, and the cover art was done by me. Huge shout out to everybody that did submit to SoundCloud Sunday. SoundCloud Sunday has been bumping as of recently. SoundCloud Sunday is like one of our most consistent segments, but I mean, it's getting crazy though because We're only 5 volumes away from 200, which is actually really nuts. So I'm excited for 200 volumes of SoundCloud Sunday. And again, like I said, huge shout out to everybody that submitted and showed love to SoundCloud Sunday. And definitely don't just go share it with your artist friends or anything like that. You have any homies that kind of want to look for new music, or you know somebody that's like, oh, there's no new music out, or where's like the new underground artist or anything like that. Definitely go show them SoundCloud Sunday and share it with your friends, share it with your homies, and all that good jazz. But like I said, submissions open every single Wednesday, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And that lands us here today, Monday, July 14th, 2025, episode 234 of the Music Mondays podcast, my friends. That was your weekly recap. That's pretty much everything that you missed over the course of the last week or so. Obviously, I'll be updating you guys weekly here on the show. Regardless, I'm not a newbie anymore. Definitely not, Ghost. Definitely not. Definitely not, my friend. I agree. Definitely not. We got Sam's Rats for the chat. Let's get it, baby. Hope you're well. What's cracking? Well, what's going down, my friend? So that was weekly recap, Jazz. Let's talk about what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. But first, let's sip some coffee. I haven't had caffeine all day today, man. Which is good, but sometimes, need a little bit of caffeine. But, let's see here. Yeah, so what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so? So, relatively big month for us. Like I said, our next event we'll be looking to kind of start rolling out at the end of July. That's pretty much taking all the staff's time. Again, like I've said to you over the last few weeks or so, this is an event that we haven't done yet. It's going to be more of a longer event as well. It's definitely not just going to be a one-day thing. So again, right now, like I said, we're pretty much like 90% done with all the materials and a lot of the stuff that we need. Now it's really figuring out guidelines and rules and things like that. Just kind of ironing out some smaller stuff when it comes down to the event, but that's pretty much done. I think over the next like 2 or 3 episodes, you guys will be getting the announcement and things like that. So, yeah, that's definitely what's been going down in the background. Just because, again, it's an event that we haven't done yet, because we've done URL festivals, we've done albums, we've done all sorts of stuff. But when it comes down to first-time events, I want to make sure that we do it as as proper as possible, I would say, for sure. So again, summer event is well underway, and I think you guys are really going to enjoy it. You know what I mean? It's going to be one of those things where it took a minute to get together, just because we've never done it before. But I think all the producers and all the artists are really going to enjoy it. So summer event getting worked on. We're bringing back slowly all of our old YouTube series as well. We actually just dropped Feature Friday episode 7 with King Mark. That is also over there on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, so definitely go check that out. But Feature Friday being our one-on-one interview segment, Workshop Wednesday where we kind of sit down with artists and producers and break down their process when it comes down to instrumentals or engineering or vocals or anything like that. And then, of course, we have the breakdown where we kind of break down artists' albums in almost review formats. So, again, those segments are going to be coming back over the next couple of months, but we already started rolling them out again. So definitely go check out Feature Friday episode 7. And same with our weekly playlist as well and our monthly playlist. SoundCloud Sunday obviously is not changing, but when it comes down to Underground Classics, when it comes down to the monthly, Across the Pond, a lot of those monthly SoundCloud playlists, those will be returning as well. So again, keep your eyes peeled for those. Just trying to get a lot of that stuff back into the rotation, and along with everything else that we do here as well. So again, a lot of your weekly and monthly content will be staying the same. So obviously the podcast will be staying the same. SoundCloud Sunday will be staying the same. You'll have written articles every single Friday, and of course the website stays the same. So again, big thing, summer event, and then just kind of rolling back a lot of our YouTube series and a lot of our monthly series as well. So just trying to straighten everything up, and then once we get this newer events rolled out, I think you guys are going to really see the vision. You'll be like, oh shit, you know what I mean? So it's definitely going to be one of those things. But that's pretty much what's coming over the next couple of weeks or so when it comes down to Music Mondays. I think, we only have 2 weeks left of July here. So the big goal is to have the summer event at least announced in public by the end of the month. And that way we can take August to cap off the summer and have one, real big last summer event. And then we'll definitely do another album. We'll definitely do Cyberfest 3. And then we'll have the Music Mondays Awards at the end of the year. So that'll be solid. But that's pretty much everything like I said, that's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. And again, make sure you tune into the Music Mondays podcast every single week for weekly updates. And of course, make sure you follow us on social media and stay up to date with everything that Music Mondays has going on. So, let's see here. That's pretty much everything, like, super major. Not gonna lie, I don't know if I sent to the tweet, and if I did what I sent, I've been hella busy. Okay, I did. Oh yeah, okay, bet. Yeah, I was gonna say, I'm pretty sure I saw you in there when I was doing a scroll. But we did weekly recap jazz. We did what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of the next week or so. Let's talk recruiting. So recruiting is definitely something that's been bumping recently. I'm in the middle of talking with some new potential staff members, and we actually added one new writer over the course of the last week or so. But again, Music Mondays is on the hunt for new staff members. So if you're a writer, journalist, designer, curator, you want to do short form content, you want to do long form content, you kind of want to make sure that you get involved with Music Mondays in some shape or form, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. Because again, we are looking for all the Music Mondays staff roles to be filled. And of course, resume definitely preferred, but not required. So if you're kind of new to independent journalism, you're new to underground content, you're new to independent music content, you're new to just independent media in general, we're definitely down to show you the ropes and get your feet wet and whatnot. So again, feel free to send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. And of course, we have a Music Mondays staff role guide that was updated for 2025 available right now on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, where I kind of break down all the Music Mondays staff roles in more detail when it comes to your content and your schedule and things like that. So if you want any more information, definitely go check that out. Or of course, like I said, send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. Okay, so recruiting. Let's talk SoundCloud exclusives. So per usual, Music Mondays is on the hunt for unreleased SoundCloud exclusives to host on the Music Mondays SoundCloud. Again, if you'd like to have an unreleased track hosted and promoted on the Music Mondays SoundCloud and across all of our social media for completely free, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email. We'd be happy to get that set up for you. And per usual, we are only interested in unreleased material. So feel free to do whatever you want with the track afterwards. You want to go upload it on DSPs, you want to go upload it on YouTube or anything like that, that's fine. We're only interested in the SoundCloud version. Same goes for YouTube as well. Again, if you have an unreleased music video, an AMV, a lyric video, or you just want some audio hosted on the Music Mondays YouTube channel of over 320 subscribers, definitely let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM, send us an email, and again, for completely free and promoted across all of our social media. So yeah, let us know. Send us a message, send us a DM. You guys know the dealio. But that's that. I think we pretty much hit up everything, Chad. I think we're good to go. Yeah, because we spoke weekly recap jazz. We spoke what's coming on Music Mondays over the course of next week or so. SoundCloud exclusives, recruiting, YouTube exclusives. Yeah, I think we're good. Because I have a pretty interesting YouTube video planned for us this week, so we don't need to record anything here. So I think we have plenty of time to go over and check out our submissions for the night. You guys know the deal. Let's get into it. All right. So, let's go pop over to Twitter and see what's cracking. You guys know the drill, but if you don't and you're new here, tweets are always in the same format every single week, and they'll always read artists and creative submissions are open for live reviews on Music Mondays, live on July 14th, 2025 at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time at twitch.tv/zonplays, which is here and now. Again, the only thing that changes in this tweet, because all of it will stay the same, the only thing that does change is the date, so make sure that you're submitting for a show that has not happened yet. Again, you guys would be surprised at how many submissions we get for shows that are super old or, happened like last year or anything like that. So again, make sure you double check the date, make sure you're submitting for a show that has not gone live yet. Outside of that, if you'd like to submit your music, artwork, fashion, or digital creations, drop your links and portfolios below. All art forms are welcome. So per usual, contrary to our name, Music Mondays, we've reacted to pretty much everything here on the show. Everything from quite literally music, obviously vocals, covers, remixes, instrumentals, photography, videography, physical media, all sorts of stuff like that, unreleased material as well. So again, the logic being that many underground creators are multi-talented, right? A lot of producers also do vocals, a lot of vocalists also do cover art, a lot of cover artists also do YouTube edits and things like that. So again, we wanted to make sure that we give everybody a fair shake when it comes down to that, and make sure that we get everybody a spot here on the show. So again, if you feel like your work deserves a little bit of spotlight here on the Music Mondays podcast, don't hesitate to submit your links, my friends. Outside of that, we do have a 3-hour show limit here on the show because we are one of the only weekly live shows here on Twitch every single Monday. So again, that's just to make the show a little bit more palatable to watch back and, go live every week and kind of dive in, right? So, you could argue that a 3-hour show is still a little bit long to watch back, but it's definitely not as long as some of our older shows when it comes down to like, I think in 2023 we had like a 6-hour show one night, and it was fucking crazy. Obviously back then I wasn't as busy as I am now, so it wasn't as bad thinking back on it. But I could never do like a 6-hour show like straight by myself now. You know what I mean? Because of how the show's developed and things like that. So again, 3-hour show limit. So just make sure you keep that in mind. Outside of that, submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask here is that you're following us on Twitter to be eligible. Because again, that not only helps us grow and spread our message, but that again also pays respect to everybody else that does wait for their submissions to be reacted to every single week here on the show. And of course, you gain access to a whole wonderful wide range of artists and friendly individuals. So, I mean, it's kind of a win-win. You know what I mean? But again, submissions are free. They always have been free. They always will be free. But the only thing that we do ask is that you're following Music Mondays on Twitter to be eligible. Outside of that, Patreon subscriber submissions are played first every single week here on the show. So again, if you're subscribed to the Music Mondays Patreon at any tier, whether that be basic, advanced, or premium, you gain access to a whole list of goodies. And in those goodies is something called the Music Mondays Fast Pass, which again, for the duration that you're pledged to the Music Mondays Patreon, allows for all of your submissions not only to be guaranteed to be played here on the show, but you will be played first here on the show before the rest of the community, right? So again, when people go and watch the show back, you're one of the first submissions that people see. And of course, you get played at the height of viewership when the show kicks off. So kind of an advantage, and also guarantees your submissions to be played first every single week here on the show. So again, huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays Patrons, past and present. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Let's see here. Outside of that, I don't think anything else super major. The only thing that we do have to mention is that submissions do close about a couple hours before the show starts. So again, make sure you keep that in mind, my friends. Make sure you keep that in mind. Again, a good rule of thumb is that if the show is live, submissions are closed because again, we like to keep things free flow and make sure that we get to everybody's submissions promptly, and we don't, want somebody sneaking in and, somebody's waiting for their submission like throughout the whole show, and then somebody sneaks in and they get ahead of them and things like that, right? So we like to keep it as organic as possible. So again, you have about like 6.5 or so days to get your submissions in every single week here on the show. So again, plenty of time. You could literally cook up a song from scratch and quite literally get it in before the 6 days. But outside of that, that's pretty much everything you need to know about the Music Mondays podcast. Again, if you want a little bit more information on the show, we do have a how to submit to the Music Mondays podcast guide on the Music Mondays YouTube channel, which actually got updated for 2025. I kind of break down the lore of the Music Mondays podcast, why we take submissions on Twitter, how the podcast came to be, and things like that. So if you want any more information on the show, definitely go check that out. Go show that some love, because that's a W kind of backstory, man, and I always love telling that story. But outside of that, let's get into it, my friends. So, looking over everything, I think we have one Patreon tonight. So we're going to kick off with just our one Patreon tonight, and then we're going to go with the rest of the crew. So, let's see here. All right, yeah, so I just double checked. Yeah, we have one Patreon tonight, and it's the homie Jordan. Now, Jordan, a Music Mondays veteran, but also a multi-genre talented artist and producer, has had quite the last 7 months or so in 2025. We've watched them go from 0 to 100 this year for sure on the show. And this week they came through with a brand new music video with the homie Sticky for Nowhere Worthwhile. Now, I got a little preview of this not too long ago, but I'm happy that we get to actually react to this here on the show because this is quite the fucking video. So Go 720 just goes for streaming. So we're at 5 days ago. Super new. Credits and description. Lots of love in the comments. Yeah. Okay. We love that. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. Diggy, Jordan, Nowhere Worthwhile official music video. Let's go. So crazy. It's just shot so well too. Simple but so fucking effective, bro. Like so effective. Like this is one of those videos, man. I feel like we've been talking about videos and shows here a lot on the show. But this is one of those videos where, you know, if you have a little bit of a budget and you have somebody with like a really nice camera and like knows what they're doing, this type of shit is like the absolute potential for sure. You know what I mean? Like something like this is very well thought out. It's very well shot, and the quality is just insane. I mean, obviously we're streaming, but I think this goes up to what, 4K? Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, shit. So come on. But this is definitely probably my favorite Jordan video to date, personally. This is just one of the ones that just stands out. You know what I mean? And you're just like, man, it's it hits the sweet spot. You know what I mean? But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it because there's a couple things we gotta dive into here. So okay, we're gonna talk about three things. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Nowhere Worthwhile. So instrumental. You know, again, the instrumental kind of stands out almost instantly. You know, it has this dreamlike kind of feel to it, but everything about it is so like it's so in your face. You know what I mean? So, but before we get into that, the mix is great. I mean, you know, Jordan and crew, you know, make more creative junk. The TM guys, Sticky, all them. I think this whole crew really has a solid mix regardless. So it's not really a shocker to me that the mix is like super super on point. But something you always want to point out for anybody new here. But definitely no gripes with the mix at all. Nothing clashy, too overbearing. Nothing that kind of like mixes with each other wrong. I think vocals sit really nice. I think the bass and the drums really really stick out. I mean, how could you have a gripe with that? You know what I mean? Definitely not. Definitely not. So instrumental mix is very much on point. Instrumental Shining Star. Again, got to be the drums. I do feel like the melody's up there too. The melody definitely sets the mood heavy here, but I think I want to go with the drums on this one. I'm not gonna lie to you, Chief. Um, Patterns, sound selection, especially like the bass and the 808, like everything kind of like blends together so well, but it's still very soft. It's very, it works well. It works well. We can definitely say that. But instrumental solid, definitely the drums for sure. Let's go vocals. So vocal mix again, fantastic. Jordan, you know, this year specifically in 2025, Jordan has done so many new things with their mixes, and it's not like drastic changes or anything like that. I just feel like Jordan really knows how to like tweak their voice and their delivery, and you know, maybe their vocal chain, or you know, whatever happens in the background, you can tell that Jordan's kind of experimenting now with like different styles for different instrumentals and how they want to come across. You know what I mean? It's just the small things that I've noticed like over the last 7 months or so, that they're really trying to like not like step outside the box and do some like experimental shit, but it's more so sharpening the sword, so to speak, and just trying new things. That's what I really like about this mix is it stands out, but it's still very Jordan, you know. So no gripes here though, especially when it comes to quality. Drums cut through nicely, vocals sit nice. Levels are solid. I mean, nothing I would really gripe about on this either, to be honest with you. I think the mix across the board is fucking sharp, very sharp. So vocal mix solid. Vocal Shining Star. Um, you know, I was gonna say writing, just because it is very like on point for like going nowhere, or like that just walking with no destination kind of feeling. So I was gonna go writing just because it is very much on point, but thinking back on it and after giving this like another hard listen, I'm gonna go with flow and cadence and delivery, just because I feel like Jordan really nailed it. And like when it comes to like the mood, you know, how everything is delivered and how Jordan flows on this is just I feel like it captures the mood perfectly. So I'm gonna go with flow, cadence, and delivery on this one for sure. Jordan Schmel solid, definitely drums, vocal solid, flow and Kane's delivery. Let's talk about the official music video for Nowhere Worthwhile. We'll speak a little bit about on the theme as well, but I want to talk about this video, man. I really want to talk about this video because man, again, probably one of my favorite Jordan videos to date. Directed by Ghost Shoots and Charlie Palmer, shot and edited by Ghost Shoots. So yeah, man, this whole crew did a really, really good fucking job with this. I love the credits at the start, and I love this kind of like fast forward montage of almost like the whole video. It's kind of like giving you like a preview of like what's to come, right? And then it kind of like cuts on and it comes to color, and it's very smart, you know. But there isn't like a whole shit ton of effects. There isn't like, you know, it's not doing too much, you know. I feel like this is the perfect video for this song. 100%. I feel like this is the perfect video for this song. No question. No question. Um, hmm. You know, I'm trying to think Shining Star here and like what really kind of like sticks out about this video. But I really love it all. I mean, the shots, the locations, everybody on camera is very, very comfortable too. Like that's one thing I really like about this is like these two seem to have like really good like natural chemistry. You know, like nothing really like looks out of place, so to speak. Um, I almost want to say the locations though. You know, I almost want to say the locations because like it's not like a bright sunny day out. It's almost like cloudy, but the sun's like peeking through. And then like you have like these nighttime shots too, and then this like hotel-ish kind of shot here. I think this is really fucking solid. And you got like Sticky looking at the mirror and shit. Yeah, I don't know. This one's tough, man. I mean, I love the editing though, but I'm gonna have to go with the locations, man. I think the locations really fucking made this video. Like it was like really well thought out, but it's not like, you know, rocket science, but like you really have to have a creative eye for certain things. You know what I mean? Because in hindsight, it's a no brainer. But while you're trying to think of like an actual concept for a video like this, you're like, you know what I mean? Like you really have to have like that, like a very important eye for this sort of thing. So I'm gonna go with the locations, but I do love the editing, and I love these two on camera just because they're very like comfortable. You know what I mean? So well done, my friend. Well done. That's quite the fucking video. God, Jesus Christ, well done. Huge shout out to the homie Jordan, by the way. Make sure to go sub to Sticky's channel. There are only 9 subs now that we subscribed, away from 30. So make sure you go show him some love on the tube. And of course, per usual, make sure you go follow Jordan on Twitter. They are only 3 followers away from 410. So make sure you go show them some love on the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 320. Or actually, no, we actually just hit 320. Laps for us. Jesus Christ. We were on that 320 grind for a while, man. But now we're on the road to 330. So make sure you go sub to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and the channel some love. Let's get it, baby. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, that does it for all the Music Mondays Patreons for tonight. Huge shout out to the homie Jordan, King Mark, TDG, Kruger, Laveries, and everybody else in the past or present that has subbed to the Music Mondays Patreon. You guys are fucking amazing. Thank you. But you guys know the deal. We're going to start from top to bottom, go down to the rest of the community submissions, and just start knocking them out, my friends. Let's go see what we got here this week, because I'm pretty sure we have quite the stacked week here, but let's get into it. So, next up is the homie Sam's Raps, a very, very talented hip-hop artist who we just interviewed a few weeks ago, so definitely go check out the Sam's Raps interview. And they've been dropping projects and side features and singles like fucking crazy. And this week, they submitted another track from The Moss and Me with a little bit of a feature here. Okay. I'm down. Let's see. So, I believe... Hold on. Let's give this a quick pause. So, yeah, okay, so we did track 2, and now this is track 3. Okay, so now we're going, like, in the real organic order of the project here. So this is what the listener would hear after track 2. So, track 2 was pretty crazy when it came down to that a couple weeks ago. So this week we're going to go with Sam's and the Spider. Let's get into it.
Novel. About what?
With the homie Fat Betty.
It's about a man who works in a nostalgia shop. What the hell is a nostalgia shop? A place where they sell old things,
hell's a nostalgia shop?
Rose is clean and honest, and it affirms courage and grace under pressure.
Yeah. When it rains, it floods, but it ain't poured yet. Not yet. There's something up ahead when the skies turn red. Up ahead in the rear view, I see you. A speck of dust when I step to the west out where the sun sets, and the rest when I'm dead. 3G gave me the beat and sent me back to summer 08. You know those nights when the sky turned blue and the skyscrapers just fade. Silhouetted in the distance while we dance to count down the days. Now we pirouetting with the second hand, spinning out like Beyblades. Time escapes, flies away, gray shaded to monochrome. All the same, monotone, each bar stands alone, xylophone. This for the nights I stayed up, plotting so the parts grades the whole. Purified into a microcosm, got the multiverse in a psalm.
Damn.
Chillin' like we used to. Really isn't so hard to do. Stepping into Sam and Triple G's time to share. To a different, not so distant place, where the flow is clean.
Damn. Okay. I like this one a lot, right? And you want to know why? It's because it clocks in at what? A minute 38, right? This is one of those songs, right? You know how like back in like the early years of like SoundCloud and like 2016 era, right? There used to be this like surge of songs that were like under 2 minutes that were like official releases, but like you just had to play over and over again because you just liked it that much. You know what I mean? Like it's one of those where it's just like I could see this one definitely being on repeat for sure, 100%. But well done. That was a fun one. That was fun. I had fun on that one for some reason. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So we're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Sam's and Spider. So, instrumental. Wow. So first off, the mix is great, 100%. You know, usually anything from this crew, again, Sam's Raps, Uggy, and the whole Sauce Gang crew, I feel like the mix is always on point, 100%. And this one's no different at all. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Sam's vocals sit nice. Betty sounds nice on this. Nothing that's like kind of poking out the way or anything like that. I thought levels were good too. Yeah, no gripes. Again, not really a shocker to me, but something you always want to point out for anybody new here. So very much on point mix. As far as the instrumental goes. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand. You know, the melodies are up there. Again, the melodies are like really kind of setting the mood for this. Almost like a very like chill, jazz adjacent, but very much like lo-fi kind of feel. You know, like it has a good mix of feelings in it for sure. But I think a pretty underrated part about this is probably the structure. I feel like the structure is like really underrated, like how it starts with the skit and then we kind of build up and then like the outro is a little bit more melodic. Yeah, I'm going to go with the structure on the instrumental, man. I feel like the structure kind of nailed it on this for sure. I mean, you could argue the drums and melodies, but I like the way it's structured out a lot. Definitely. So, instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals, vocal mix. A little bit more of like a gritty mix for Sam's raps on this one, and I like it a lot. And it's not like a crazy jump or anything like that, but it has a little bit more grit to it. And you know, I find that those like sorts of tracks with that sound, you can hear a little bit more of the emotion and like the seriousness in, you know, the vocals. So I like the mix personally. And again, when it comes to quality and levels, fantastic. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Vocals sit nice. I feel like everybody's vocals kind of works well with the instrumental. So yeah, no real gripes when it comes down to that. No way. But I like the mix a lot. So Vocal Shining Star, on the other hand, man. You know, at first I was gonna say flow and cadence and delivery, but you know, the Beyblade line, the multiverse line, like there is a couple of like really memorable lines in here. So for that, I'm gonna go with flow and cadence and delivery. for sure. I mean, you could kind of argue, or no, you could kind of argue flow and cadence and delivery, but I'm gonna go writing and lyrics here, just because of that. You know, because like I said, off rip, I was like, oh man, the flow is crazy. But as the song went on, yeah, you're kind of like, oh shit, you know, like the pen was hot for this one. The pen was definitely fucking hot. So yeah, I'm gonna go with writing and lyrics on this, but again, you could argue flow and cadence and delivery all day for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. Now, Sam's and the Spider. But before we get into that, The Moss and Me. This cover is probably one of my favorite Sam's Raps covers I've seen yet. I spoke a little bit about this like a couple weeks ago, you know what I mean? But it's like the ultimate summer vibe here for sure. I feel like this is like a really good like, you know, color palette choice, but also I feel like it really like I feel like what's the word? It really just kind of encapsulates like that summer feel. You know what I mean? And pretty much everything that we've heard so far off of this project is very much a summer evening kind of track. You know what I mean? It's very summer like. So aesthetics definitely on point. I definitely love this cover. Very project worthy. And like I say every time, the seal down here is always really cool. But great addition. But yeah, no, aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme. Now, I mean, you could kind of lump in the theme here with a lot of the, you know, Beatles Sam's for Sam's Drop This Morning, Sam's and the Spider. Like, there's a lot of like Sam's play on words here, so obviously you could kind of like, you know, go that route with it. But you know, this is one where again I wouldn't dig like super deep for a theme because the theme again is kind of in the whole project, not like song by song. You know what I mean? I would say the theme is like very much as like a project's whole. You know what I mean? Like the whole thing. So, like I said, yeah, I wouldn't dig too deep for a theme on this one. Definitely not. This is one where you definitely gotta appreciate Sam's writing and lyrical ability on this one for sure. One that you just gotta like pay attention to. You know what I mean? Like really, really pay attention to for sure. So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Sam's Raps. Thank you so much for the submission. Much love. Make sure you go follow Sam's Raps on Spotify, by the way. And of course, make sure you go follow Sam's Raps on Twitter. They are approaching 1.2K on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. Let's get it, baby. Alrighty, my friends, we left off with the homie Sam's Raps. Up next is the homie Lucha Libro, a very talented alternative experimental artist, has submitted a brand new single. Well. Now, Lucha's been coming through with the tracks recently. Single from the next EP, almost finished it. Temporary Forever, probably put on last. It's a Debbie Downer. It's a Debbie Downer times 100. Oh shit. Okay. So we got some emotional Lucha Libro incoming? Oh shit. Damn. July 4th. So literally 10 days ago. Super new. Hot off the press. I love the cover too. Wow. Times 100 pre-temporal. Interesting. I'm down. Let's get into it. Brand new Lucha Libro.
Siempre esto día es temporal y no lo entiendo, no lo entiendo. Entiendo que te te escribí ayer y no me contestaste. Seguiste con tu fiesta de empalme. Y cómo no vas a saber que eso no se hace. No es que no lo sepa, es que tengo que soltarme. Vivo en un bucle de lunes a viernes y estoy aquí otra vez. Siempre estos días es temporal y no lo entiendo, pero juntos lo podemos no entender. Siempre estos días es temporal, es temporal, es temporal.
Nice little fade out there too, but yeah, no, I mean, I feel it now. I feel it now. It's a Debbie Downer. Yep, temporary forever. I see the vision. I see the vision. You know, sometimes as artists, man, we need tracks like this. You know, sometimes you just got to get that fucking shit out. You know, no matter how it is or how unconventional the song is or anything like that. You know, music is therapy. You know, and it really is one of those things where you should be using it for that purpose. You know, it's healthy to get those sorts of emotions out when you need to. You know. But regardless, let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. Talk about the instrumental, talk about vocals, talk about the overall theme of this track. So, instrumental, obviously basic, but it gets the job done when it comes down to the message, right? Um, Instrumental mix though, solid. I mean, vocal sat nice. Again, more of a kind of simple styled instrumental, but I didn't really have any gripes with the quality of the levels or anything like that. Yeah, nothing I would like really complain about, to be honest with you. Um, Again, for what it is, for sure. So instrumental mix definitely solid, very simple, straight to the point. Um, Instrumental Shining Star. Hmm. Again, I do like the mix on it because again, it even though it is like very straightforward, it does have this like radio voicemail, almost kind of like drowned out mix on it, which I think is really solid. You know what I mean? So Shining Star is definitely the mix here. I like what Lucha did with this, especially if you're gonna go like the simple, more basic route for an instrumental. The other way to kind of like buff it up a little bit is to make sure you get a good mix in there. So, instrumental Shining Star, definitely the mix. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix again, nice and gritty, but I don't have any problems with the levels though. You know, I like the levels. I feel like Lucha sounds solid on this melody. I mean, yeah, nothing too loud, nothing super clashy, too overbearing, nothing I would like really gripe about, you know what I mean? And again, it has that like lucha grittiness to it. So I'm big on it, you know. It kind of hits that like lucha libre sweet spot, to be honest with you. So vocal mix very much on point, especially for a track like this. Vocal shining star, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. I love how Lucha was just very like comforting on this track almost, but you could tell that it was very, very emotional too. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with the flow and cadence and delivery on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the mix. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. I love this cover. Love this cover. I knew like once I saw it, it was gonna be one of my favorites. Again, aesthetically pleasing, but it has this like nighttime kind of vibe too, where it's like you're taking a picture of the moon like super far away and like almost like a fucking desert or something like that. You know what I mean? And then of course you have the Lucha Libre logo up there, and then the iconic yellow border, which we get for the majority of Lucha Libre's tracks, which I just think is I think it looks really solid. I mean, there's no rule to do it or you have to do it or anything like that. I personally just think it looks sick. But yeah, aesthetics definitely on point, especially for a track like this, you know, a little bit more emotional, a little bit more raw, if you will, right? So, overall theme, Lucha kind of describes it here a little bit. I mean, temporary forever, right? You know, when it comes to breakups or love or just going through any kind of like emotional time in life, other than like trying to, you know, get away from the feelings by doing shit in real life, like what you can do is write about it and, you know, record about it and put songs out about it and try to get those feelings out in some way, right? Because it's almost kind of like it's like therapy in the way, except you don't have to talk to anybody. You know what I mean? Like you don't have to like outwardly explain shit to people. You can just like say like what's on your mind and how it is, and nobody's gonna have a rebuttal. Nobody's gonna judge you. Nobody's gonna do X, Y, or Z. You know what I mean? So that's why I feel like, again, that therapeutic aspect of music is always going to be a big crutch, you know, and you don't even really have to do vocals, you know, like producers get the same feeling, engineers get the same feeling, you know what I mean? It's about like, you know, like what's inside of you, you know what I mean? So it's super important to like put out tracks like this, you know what I mean? It's super fucking important. And like, you don't even have to like really release them to the public. Like, you know, sometimes people record these types of tracks and don't even fucking ever release them, you know, or you can, which I think is even better, you know, just like getting that out into the world. So, but yeah, either way, well done, my friend. Huge shout out to Lucha Libre. Thank you so much for the submission. Much love. Make sure you go follow Lucha Libre on Spotify, and of course, make sure you go follow Lucha Libre on Twitter. They're only 3 followers away from 140. Make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app, and of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers on our YouTube channel. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. So, all right. So, up next, we have the homie Lozo. Now, I don't think we've reacted to Lozo here on the show. They might have been a part of SoundCloud Sunday at one point or something like that, but I don't think we've reacted to them here on the show, but they submitted a track titled Shiftin' Freestyle. So, we're going to go with Super Blind here. Let's see what we got from homie Lozo, man. Shiftin' Freestyle, 13 days ago. Super new. Okay, I'm down. All right, first time submitting artist, the homie Lozo, Shiftin' Freestyle. Let's go. Shit.
Showed
shorty that spotted, keeping the motion go crazy. She busted open, she fuck with me cause I'm chosen. Man, what do I gotta say? You ask, she go get some lotion. Hot, sitting on a
Shit.
cloud. I'm scared to look down, man. If I ever fall, you know I'm breaking through the ground. Faster than the speed of sound. I'm shifting it while I'm whipping it. Bass pumping so hard that I'm spilling it while I'm sipping down. Came to change the energy, shifting the mortar synergy, changing up all your tendencies and changing what you tend to see. You know your boy mystic, mind fly when I'm lifted. Only control the present. You gotta know that you gifted. Yeah, yeah. Hit the flow, flow. Yeah, yeah. Hit the flow, flow. Yeah, yeah. Hit the flow, flow. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Damn. This is cool. Oh, fuck yeah. I agree. Holy shit. Little cut off there at the end. Well done. God damn. Well fucking done. That is a crazy first time submission. I won't lie. That is fucking crazy. I love the instrumental choice too. I feel like they really knew what they wanted to do on this for sure. But shit, let's break it down. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Shiftin' Freestyle. So you know, instrumental mix, to be honest with you, really solid. to be completely real, especially when it comes to like a first time submission, you know, you never really know what you're gonna get, but I like the instrumental mix. Drum selection was solid, patterns were solid, vocals sounded nice in the instrumental, levels were solid. Nothing that I would like really gripe about on this either, to be honest with you. So instrumental mix very much on point. Instrumental shining star. You know, melodies are up there, but I'm gonna have to go drums. I think the drums are fucking crazy on this. I'm gonna have to go drums, man. I'm definitely gonna have to go drums. Again, you could argue the melodies here, but the drums are crazy. The drums are fucking crazy. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, again, really solid for a first time submission, right? Because you know you want to keep an open mind and you don't really know what you're gonna expect when it comes to like a first time submission, but I mean, vocal mix very much on point, raw, high quality, you know, kind of leaves in the emotion, but you know, it doesn't leave it like too raw, you know what I mean? It has like a nice middle ground for sure. So definitely a really solid vocal mix, 100%. Vocal shining star on the other hand, I like the writing a lot, the writing and lyrics for sure, but man, I kind of want to argue flow and cadence and delivery. You know what I mean? I feel like the flow and cadence and delivery are really up there on this, for sure. Or writing. Yeah, let's go. Let's go flow and cadence and delivery. Let's go flow and cadence and delivery for sure. You could argue writing with the flow and cadence was just very enjoyable, 100%, especially for like this freestyle kind of style, right? So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the flow and cadence delivery. Let's talk theme aesthetics. I love this cover. Simple, straight to the point, but still very original, right? Especially with like the shifting at the like bottom middle, right? And then you have the whip above it and just this nice white background. I like it for like a quick little single, you know what I mean? I'm a big fan of these kinds of covers, especially for like, again, just quick loosies, a little single here and there, whatever, you know? So aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, shift, and freestyle, it very much, you know, it is what it is, our freestyle, right? But I do think Lozo did a really good job keeping up the pace and like not going too deep into like the freestyle kind of motion and style, right? It still felt like very structured, but it was very much on point. You know what I mean? So this isn't one where I dive in too deep for a theme. This is one where you just got to appreciate Lozo and their writing and lyrical ability, for sure. Well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Lozo. Thank you so much for the submission. Much love. Make sure you go follow Lozo on SoundCloud. Now they're only one follower away from 180, so go show them some love over there on the cloud. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. They're only 2 followers away from 420 W milestone. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists and channels some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you, my friends. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Whew. That was a crazy first time submission. I like that. Well done. Up next, we got the homies over at Slug Boys, and they came through with a track titled Tiramisu. Now, it's a very, very talented hip-hop crew, I believe, along with a producer. There's a lot going on with the Slug Boys, but a lot of their recent submissions have been fucking crazy. But like I said, this week they submitted a track titled Tiramisu. Didn't get to send this your way earlier, but here's a Lucy I did with Mesa, mixed and mastered by Fried Kool-Aid. Would appreciate your insight. We have some exciting music on the horizon. I got you, my friend. Fried Kool-Aid is a fucking insane name. That's fantastic. Fried Kool-Aid is actually a fire-ass fucking name. Wow. All right, yeah, so we got the homies over at Black Brains and the homie Mesa. Okay. Tiramisu 2025, March 1st. Wow, so not super new, but not super old either. Just a couple of months ago, right? So, still much very relevant. But let's get into it. Tiramisu.
So where's my fucking food? Where's the plate? Where's the plate? Where's the plate? Working 9 to 5, try 10 to 7. The hermit went to hide but came out asking questions, failing all the children always done in succession. My lesson, watch yourself and rebellion lessons. We're listening like broken skull sessions. When Vince was there, telling Steve misdirection. Sky Babylon, my energy lacks resin. Obsessed with a recite and lost it in recession. Can't feel shit like Baldur, Wolfpack, I'm Festus. The audience will always force you to come correct then. Rembrandt paint 30 canvases using blood clots. Coffin is lowered, body stinks, shit rots. It's all locked, a battle of the behemoths, the crowd's gone. Fear is in the air like I'm Jonathan Creighton, and yeah, your plans flopped. These fuckers have agendas, always pushing, they don't stop. Drama's getting sloppy and dirty, I hope that shit drops. Timidity can kill, look at my adolescence. I fought for effervescence, of course I put the effort. I don't lose, I learn, you watch yourself or you burn. Cease and desist, you force yourself to meet the terms. I prefer you stay alert, but do not be a savior. Focus on the paper, no Cape Crusader. The food's still sacred. Godstone Award short.
Damn.
With the risk and soldiers on deployment always knew when to dispatch. Light in the match and in haptic stance. It was the Bronx every day. It's the same old dance. In a day, a week, a year. See the shit's all tracked. Burning the fucking bridge and the rope's still intact. Burning bridges and the rope's still intact. Burn bridges, rope's still intact. Need I say more?
Wow.
Where's the plate? 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 Where's the plate?
Wow. Holy shit. Like, the outro is like almost deafening because you're like, holy fuck, what the fuck did I just hear? That was crazy. I love the cover too, man. Tiramisu, huh? What a crazy name for a song. Shit, I'm down. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. So we're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Tiramisu. So, instrumental. Actually insane. You know, it's very unique, but very much like on point. I wouldn't say it's like super experimental or anything, but definitely a little bit more like unconventional, you know, mixing a few styles of hip hop together and kind of getting this like almost classic yet modern kind of feel, which I think is really solid. But instrumental mix is really solid. Again, nothing like super clashy, too overbearing. Nothing I would like ultimately change on this. I think everybody sounds great on it. I think drums cut through nicely, vocals sit nice. I mean, looking back on it, I mean, even the drums, like I said, cut through nicely. So nothing that, you know, really stuck out to me to be like super, super off-putting, you know what I mean? But again, most importantly, quality and levels solid. Nothing that I would like really, kind of gripe about at all. No way. So, instrumental mix, definitely up there. Instrumental shining star, definitely the melodies. They're just catchy and they kind of like stick with you after the song's over for some reason. And it almost has this like late night Toonami Cartoon Network kind of vibe for some reason. Like the melodies kind of like, they just remind me of that era almost, a little bit futuristic, if you will. So, yeah, I'm gonna go with the melodies here on this for sure. But drums are a close second. Instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Vocals. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, fantastic. Raw, high quality, levels are solid. Nothing that I would like really gripe about on this either, to be honest with you. Not too raw either, you know what I mean? It has that real solid classic mix, but it's not like trying to be super experimental. And especially for this kind of style, I feel like the mix was on point. So, no real gripes with the vocal mix. Vocal shining star. Probably the flow and cadence and delivery. If I'm being really honest with you, probably the flow and cadence and delivery. I don't know. I mean, like at first I was gonna say the writing and lyrics, but thinking back on it, the flow and cadence and delivery like really like went above and beyond on this for sure, for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely melodies, vocals solid, flow and cadence and delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. For a track titled Tiramisu, I don't think you could have gotten a better cover. You know what I mean? Like I really, really like the vibe of this cover. Simple but straight to the point and very high quality as well, right? But the thing that I love about this though is like the small details, right? Of like if you look at the edges of the cover, it has that like beat up old like vinyl cover kind of feel to it, right? And then you have all the text in the top left, all the credits, Slug Records, Tiramisu, Mesa. Yeah, I mean, very much on point. Very much on point. And like the font is like that classic fancy like Michelin star restaurant kind of font, you know what I mean? Like places that would just serve like high quality tiramisu, you know? So I feel like they really nailed it when it came to the aesthetics. Overall theme tiramisu. You could dive into like the tiramisu aspect of it, but this is again not one that I would like dive super deep in for a theme. This is one where I'd appreciate Black Brains and Mesa on a track together and really appreciate the writing and lyricism for sure. So well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Black Brains. Thank you so much for the submission. Much love. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, by the way. And of course, make sure you go follow Slug Boys on Twitter. They are approaching 1.4K on the Bird app. So make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 champs per week, every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays. Oh, shoot. Alright, my friends, let's continue on here. So, we left off with the homies over at Slug Boys. Up next is the homie Lil Derek. Now, it's been a while since we heard from Derek. I want to say from probably like a month or so ago, but Derek is a Music Mondays veteran and a very, very talented hip-hop artist. Came through with a lyric video for a track titled Queens. More videos from my new album, Enter the Dragon. Yeah, I'm down because we didn't get to dive too deep into Enter the Dragon. I think we were only reacting to like maybe 1 or 2, so this will be a pleasure. This will be a pleasure for sure, but Derek came through with a lyric video for Queens. So let's go full volume here. Go 720. See what we got. Produced by Authentic. Got by DJ Ferg. Link. Lots of love in the comments. Shit. Definitely lots of love in the comments. Okay. I like that. All right, let's get into it. Lil Derek Queen's official lyric video.
It's more than music.
It's your boy Lil Derek. I was raised by queens in the south. I'ma make you my. Yeah, you the way now you the bank on me. Baby girl, I ain't gon' leave. I'ma ride to the tank on me. Tank on me. I'ma ride.
It's gonna be crazy.
I was raised by queens and they taught me to be a king. Royalty is all in my genes, I'ma make you my queen. Gotta treat me like a king, give you the wedding of your dreams, you can bank on me. Baby girl, I ain't gon' leave, I'ma ride to the tank on E. You can bank on me. Baby girl, I ain't gon' leave, I'ma ride to the tank on E. Love so potent, it be feeling like a dream. Addicted to your mind, got me feeling like a fiend. Pussy so good, make a nigga wanna sing. Take his life savings and go about ring. See, I be quick to
Damn.
love, so I be holding back. Holding on to your past, yeah, I noticed that. You got hurt once before, now you know they whack. Cause I showed you the really, then no going back. My vibe is authentic, makes it easy for you to put your heart in it. Look in your eyes, I see the stars in it. Tryna give you the world, at least all that's in it. Don't trip off who I fuck with in the past tense. How I treated women when I ain't have sense. And consider how I was hurting way back then. Feeling like MJ, this my last dance. Babe, I love to see you smile. I ain't seen you in a while. Both been in and out of town. Heading to your city right now. So I'll find your number now dial. If I'm be the king of rap, then I'ma need a queen. Check me when I'm tripping. She gon' intervene. Stay low key, she don't be all in the scene. Got my back, I got a front. It ain't no in between. I was raised by queens and they taught me to be a king. Royalty is all in my genes. I'ma make you my queen. Gotta treat me like a king. Give you the wedding of your dreams. You can bank on me. Baby girl, I ain't gon' leave. I'ma ride to the tank on E. You can bank on me. Baby girl, I ain't gon' leave. I'ma ride to the tank on E. I was raised by queens and they taught me to be a king. Royalty
Fire.
all in my jeans. I'ma make you my queen. Gotta
So
treat
fire.
me like a king. Give you the wedding of your dreams. You can bank on me. Baby girl, I ain't gon' leave. I'ma ride to the tank on E. You can bank on me. Baby girl, I ain't gon' leave. I'ma ride to the tank on E.
Watch that boy go up the chart.
Let's go, man.
Yeah, as you fucking should.
Let's fucking go.
I'm so proud of you.
Choo.
If it ain't authentic, I don't want it.
Wow. Wow. No shot, man. Okay. This is another heavy one, man. This, you know, Derek's submissions never disappoint, man. Never. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the official lyric video for Queens. Instrumental, love the choice, especially for this kind of message and like what you wanted to write about and just the theme in general. I feel like the instrumental choice is very much on point, 100%. Instrumental mix, fantastic. I think Authentic did a really good job. Everything's nice and level. Drum selection's good. It has that good like R&B, like almost lo-fi boom bap kind of flavor, but mostly like R&B, you know. But it still keeps up the pace. But I love it though. Nothing again super clashy, too overbearing, like I said. Derek sounds fantastic on it. I feel like the melody's great. Yeah, no gripes, man. Definitely no gripes on this. You know, Derek's usually known for having a really solid vocal mix and a really solid mix in general for their tracks, so not really a shocker there. But something you always want to point out for anybody new. So instrumental mix, very much on point. Instrumental shining star, shit. You know, I was gonna say the drums, but probably the melody, to be honest with you. The melody gives that like good like early Y2K 2000s R&B kind of vibe, you know what I mean? So let's go melody on this one, man. Let's go melody. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, absolutely fantastic. I've always thought Derek has a really solid vocal mix. Again, they have a solid like, you know, real raw voice, and especially for their style of hip hop, like you don't want to go too crazy on the mix unless like the song calls for it, right? But as far as quality and levels go, fantastic. Nothing I would change on this at all. Drums cut through nicely, vocals sit nice on the instrumental. Nothing that's like really like off-putting or anything like that. You know what I mean? So, the vocal mix definitely on point. Vocal shining star. Probably the writing and lyrics, to be honest with you. I was gonna say the hook. The hook's definitely up there, but the writing and lyrics throughout the whole song, to be honest with you, is fantastic. So, yeah, let's go writing lyrics for sure. Floating Canes is up there too. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk about the lyric video. Now, Derek, man, this is like one of those videos, man, that's like so simple, it works so well. You know what I mean? Like, you could literally do this yourself, and it comes out so sick. Like, this is damn near just one take, you know, and then just putting the lyrics in the bottom of the screen. And this is a good way to do it if you didn't want to do, like, a full video. You know, just throw on a chill little fit, find, like, a good angle of it, and do something like this, because this is a really, really good idea, and I think this is really well executed. You know what I mean? Like, really, really well executed. I love this idea. You know what I mean? especially for like a lyric video, because it's not like too distracting. You know what I mean? Like sometimes lyric videos, um, when they're like A and B's or they're doing too much, it can be a little distracting, right? This is one where you like really lock in on the lyrics and you almost feel like you're chilling with Derek. You know, it's a very like intimate video. That's what I really like about it a lot. So, shining star for the lyric video, man. Probably the concepts. I love the angles. Probably the location. I would say. You know, the location for sure. Definitely the location and just their song in general. I mean, I feel like the song is like a really like positive song, you know, and it's not like overly corny or anything like that. I feel like it's a very positive, like on point, meaningful track, you know. So this is a good lyric video to go with it for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Lil Derek. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel, by the way. They're only 9 subs away from 690. And of course, make sure you go follow Lil Derek on Twitter. They are approaching 3.7K on the Bird app, my friends. So make sure you go follow Derek on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you here at Music Mondays, my friends. Holy mackerel. Well done. So let's see here. We left off with the homie Derek. Up next is the homie Thomas Marcus. Now, it's been, I think almost well over a year since we've heard from Thomas Marcus, man. And I was shocked to see this in the submissions. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, holy shit. But Thomas Marcus, a very talented alternative producer, came through with a track titled Backroom Deal. I'm down to see what Thomas has been up to, man. Let's go. We'll pop it over a new tab. Let's see what we got. Been a while, man. It's been a while since we heard from the homie Thomas Marcus. Holy shit. I swear to you, I saw that name in the submissions. I was like, what the fuck? I was like, no way, man. So we got a little DK upload here. Credits and description. When did this drop? July 7th of 2025. So quite literally only a week ago, man. I'm down. Let's get into it. Backroom Deal. Thomas Marcus. Let's go. Damn. You know, that's one of those ones that, like, you know, that's like a good, like, nighttime sleep, almost kind of like, study kind of instrumental there for sure. But let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about two things here because obviously, no vocals. So we're gonna talk about the obviously the instrumental, and we're talking about the overall theme of Backroom Deals. So, instrumental mix, solid. Otherwise, the only thing I would change on this is the drums being a little bit too low, unless that was like on purpose. You know what I mean? Like it could purposely have that like drowned out kind of vibe going on. But I would have bumped the drums up like just that, just a little tad. But nothing like overbearing or anything like that. Nothing that like really, you know, puts a pin in the song. You know, like I definitely think the mix is definitely solid for what it is. But nothing super clashy to overbearing. Nothing I would like really change besides that one thing. So instrumental mix on point. Instrumental shining star. I mean, you got to say melody here, right? I mean, the melody is just like the meat of this song for sure. So you definitely got to go melody on this 100%. Yeah, let's go melody for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely a melody. Let's talk theme, Backroom Deal, aesthetics. Has this kind of like lone anime kind of feel to it, but it's very interesting because like it gives that like lonely feeling, but like not really. It's like a good lonely feeling, I guess, you know, especially for a track titled Backroom Deal, you know. So aesthetics definitely on point. It's very interesting. But overall theme for Backroom Deal, you know, probably one of those titles that I think means more to Marcus than it does like the listener, you know what I mean? Maybe Thomas Marcus was making a Backroom Deal when they were cooking this one up, right? But definitely solid, 100%. So well done, my friend, well done. Huge shout out to the homie Thomas Marcus. It was nice to see you in the submissions, my friend. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel. They're approaching 1.1K over there on the tube. And now that Music Mondays, just subscribe to them. You should too. And of course, make sure you go follow Thomas Marcus on Twitter as well. They are only 3 followers away from 70, so go show them some love on Twitter. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers who upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Alrighty, my friends. Up next is the homie Braden, a multi-genre talented artist. Braden has came through with the title "I Fell in Love with a Gambler," which is a fucking hilarious title, man. But Braden has been shit, they've been on a tear in 2025, to be honest with you, between collab projects, singles, really expanding on styles. Like, there's a lot that Braden has been doing, man. Like, a real lot. Especially in 2025. I feel like this is like a new level up for them. You know what I mean? But let's get into it. Let's talk about it. I Fell in Love with a Gambler. Let's go. That title is just fucking hilarious, though. All right. So, let's get into it. Braden, I Fell in Love with a Gambler. Is this like a full project? Okay, no, it's a single. July 8th, so literally just barely a week old. All right, let's get into it. Braden, I Fell in Love with a Gambler. Let's go. Oh shit. Oh shit.
Fur coat on right now. Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
She gave me her number, talking about some call me. Put all my cards on the table, so that bitch I'm all in. Baby, I just want your mind, I don't want your body. Shorty bitch, she hit me up, cause she knew that I was ballin'. I've been feeling silly, fucked around and caught a hobby. Bitch, you ain't got no streams, get a fucking hobby.
Bitch.
The smart thing was to say yes, get up, and leave the room. But then I thought to myself, what if this was a movie?
I got all my brothers, you ain't got nobody. I'm fucking on your bitch, she ain't got no bodies. She gave me her number, talking about some call me. Put all my cards on the table, so that bitch I'm all in. Baby, I just want your mind, I don't want your body. Shorty bitch, she hit me up, cause she knew that I was ballin'. I've been feeling silly, fucked around and caught a hobby. Bitch, you ain't got no streams, get a fucking hobby.
Damn. You know, it's crazy because I feel like Brayden, as of recently, has just been choosing instrumentals that are so unconventional and so experimental that only they could actually lay down verses on these. You know what I mean? Like, some of these instrumentals are fucking nuts, and it's just like, it's so well utilized. Like, Brayden just writes on them effortlessly, blows on them effortlessly. I mean, God, well done, my friend. Well done. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of "I Fell in Love with a Gambler." Instrumental, fucking insane choice. Really insane choice. You know what I mean? Like, lately it's been instrumentals that almost every artist would probably skip. Not because they're bad or anything like that, but because artists don't really like. Some artists just like don't have a vision for it, you know, and then some artists really have a vision for it, you know, and Brayden's one of those artists, you know, so very interesting choice, but it works. Because at this point, I mean, you know, Brayden's been on the Music Mondays podcast for over like a year, almost 2 years, right? And we've heard them pretty much on every type of instrumental: alternative, hip hop, trap, experimental, dance, pop. You know what I mean? Like we've heard pretty much everything from Brayden. So it's not a shocker that they choose these types of instrumentals because they can pretty much do anything. You know what I mean? So I like the choice. Let's talk mix. Fantastic mix. It has that like mud to it, but it's not like too muddy, right? Especially like with the drums. I wouldn't say it's overbearing or anything like that. Nothing like super clashy. Brayden's vocals sit nice. Drums cut through nicely. Nothing I would like really change about this one at all. So yeah. Instrumental mix is definitely solid, especially for it being so unconventional, right? So, let's talk instrumental Shining Star. You know, between the drums and the melodies, I don't know, man, because, like, I'm leaning towards structure because, like, there's, like, that sample at the start, and then it, like, runs through the whole song, and then there's, like, the slowed and reverbed version of the song, like, at the very end. So, yeah, man, I'm gonna go structure on this one, man. I'm gonna go structure. I like the way it's structured out, for sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, again, very much on point. Brayden's an artist who, you know, no matter what instrumental they do decide to hop on, their vocal mix is usually very much on point. 100% very much on point. So, and again, nothing super clashy to overbearing. And, you know, Brayden's another one of those artists who has a vocal mix that caters to whatever style they're doing, right? They don't sound the same on every single song. They tend to, like, lean more into the instrumental and see how well they sound with, like, certain styles, right? So, vocal mix on this one, very much on point. Nothing I would, like, really change on this one, to be honest with you. So, vocal Shining Star. You know, Floating Canes is up there, but I want to go writing and lyrics on this one, to be honest with you. It was a good, like, mix of, like, braggadocious Brayden, but also, like, really serious Brayden as well. So, yeah, let's go writing and lyrics on this one, for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely structure. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. I Fell in Love with a Gambler. I mean, come on. You know what I mean? Like, it's very much on point with, like, the blue cover art and whatnot that Brayden has been using as of recently. So I think this one fits right in 100%. I feel like it's very similar to the last track that we reacted to. Oh, yeah. So I'd imagine that these tracks are going to go on, like, one album, you know, because it's the same cover as 3 Joints. So I'd imagine that it could be going on the same project for sure. But, Yeah, no, aesthetics definitely on point. I still like this cover. You know, it's a little bit more like grimy and gritty. You know, especially like for the style. So yeah. I'm gonna go with definitely solid aesthetics on this for sure. Definitely solid, 100%. Alrighty, my friends. So overall theme, I fell in love with the gambler. Shit. Man. You know, this is one where again I wouldn't dig too deep on this one for a theme, you know what I mean? But it's definitely one where it's like it has it in the hook and it's really like based off of one line, but again, this is one where you just gotta appreciate Braden's writing and lyricism 100%. 100%. So well done, my friend. Another one in the books for the homie Braden. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go follow Braden on Spotify, and of course, make sure you go follow Braden on Twitter. They're only 6 followers away from 10. This is their new Twitter, so make sure you go show them some love on the bird at my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you, my friends. All right, so we're about halfway through the show, my friends, so you guys know the deal. We're going to take a quick commercial break, and when we return, we're going to dive right back into the rest of the community submissions. So make sure you get up, go get a drink, go get a snack, go stretch the legs, maybe go on a little smoke break or anything like that. And like I said, when we return, we're going to dive right back into the rest of the community submissions, so don't go anywhere. Ladies and gentlemen, we are back here live with the Music Mondays podcast, episode 234. Hope you had a good break. Hope you're chilling. But let's get right back into our community submissions, my friends. So, we left off with the homie Braden. Up next is the homie Most Dope Keemon. Now, again, Keemon's had a stellar 2025, like a fucking stellar 2025 for sure. Between solo projects, singles, visuals, they've been absolutely fucking destroying it. Keemon, being a very talented hip-hop artist, submitted Shoot At You, Shoot At Them official music video. Let's pop it open. Okay, so we have not dove into this one yet, so I'm excited. I'm definitely excited. Alright. So, 11 days ago, brought the homie Chrome and Turo. Not lots of love in the comments. Fire. Yeah, no, fire. I like that. Okay, I'm down. I'm chilling. Let's get into it. Most Dope Keemon, Shoot At You, Shoot At Them official music video. Let's go. This one's crazy. Well done. Damn, damn, damn. Alright. Let's break this one down because wow, wow, wow. Couple things to say about this one for sure. You know, this one gives me that like found footage kind of look too. Let's talk about it. Let's get into it. Let's break it down. So, we're gonna talk about three things here, my friends. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the official music video for Shoot At You, Shoot At Them. So, man, oh man, oh man. So, like I said, this one kind of almost has that like found footage, almost like unreleased kind of. I don't know. It has a little bit more of like a darker kind of feel to it, but not dark in like a bad way. right? It has that like nighttime kind of feel to it, you know, obviously. But we'll break more of that down in a second. So um let's talk about the instrumental. So off rip, I love the choice, to be honest with you. Very much a Kimon type instrumental. Like I spoke about last week, Kimon's one of those artists where it's a very specific style of instrumental that they use. And this one definitely goes along in that category, for sure. No question. So yeah, I like the choice. Mix is solid, nothing like super clashy too overbearing. Melodies fit nice. Kimon sounds solid on the instrumental. Levels are good. Nothing that I would like ultimately change on this at all, to be honest with you. You know what I mean? Um, yeah, no gripes. Definitely no gripes. You know, Kimon usually has a very solid mix in general, right? But strictly speaking on the instrumental, super solid. Super solid. So, instrumental Shining Star. Um, hmm. You know, I was gonna say the drums at first, but to be honest with you, probably the melody. Probably the melody. I feel like the melody is very much like Imon's flavor, but also like it has this like bright kind of feel to it. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with melody on this one for sure. But drums are a close second. Drums are definitely a close second. So instrumental solid, definitely melody. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix very much on point. Like I said with the instrumental, Kimon has a very consistent vocal mix, right? So not really a shocker that their vocal mix here is like super crisp. And again, like I said, usually they do have a very solid vocal mix, so not really a shocker to me, but something you always want to point out, right? So, um, vocal mix very solid. Vocal, vocal Shining Star. You know, usually I go flow and cadence with Kimon, but this one, I'm gonna go with the writing. I'm gonna go with the writing. I felt like it was very creative writing and very like, I don't want to say like relatable, but I feel like it was pretty raw in terms of like what Kimon usually writes too, you know. So I'm gonna go with writing on this one, 100%. So instrumental solid, definitely the melody. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk about the video. So I can't quite put my finger on it, but this one has like a old school nighttime, almost like found footage kind of vibe. You know, I can't really put my finger on it, but there's something about this that like it sticks out. You know, it really sticks out, and I think the shining star here is the location because of like this like white building background and then like a couple of the filters and like the transitions. Yeah, it just gives me this like movie kind of feel almost. You know what I mean? Like summer night, kind of like late night feel. So, Shining Star here is definitely the location, but I think the editing is up there too, for sure. I definitely think the editing is up there 100%. So, yeah, probably locations. Probably locations 100%. This one hits like a nice sweet spot in the middle somehow. You know what I mean? So, well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Homie Kimon. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to Kimon's channel. They're only 4 subs away from 100, so make sure you go show them some love over there on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Kimon on Twitter. They're only 10 followers away from 30, so go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Alrighty, my friends. Let's see here. So we left off the homie Kimon. Up next is the homie Rip Bands. Now, I think we reacted to Rip Bands for the first time last week. So very talented, multi-genre sort of alternative hip hop artist came through with a track titled "Worst Ways." Just dropped this yesterday. Got more good music coming soon. I'm down, my friend. I'm down. Let's see what we got here about the homie Rip Bands. Okay, minute 30, July 6th. Yeah, quite literally like probably like a week ago or so. So let's get into it. Rip Bands, Worst Ways. Let's go.
All your worst days. sorry. I take drugs now, I smoke weed now. I'm not healthy, baby, I'm a druggie. I'm not healthy, baby, I'm a druggie. I want money, can I spend it on you? Take me right back, baby, please. Please just let me, baby, please don't mess with me. Please just let me take these drugs off of me. Hey, bro, play that back.
Wow. Very intense. Nice little outro. Wow. Well done. Well fucking done. Vibed out to that. Yeah, Keemon submission was solid. I like Keemon submission a lot. But well done. Well done. Let's break this one down. Let's talk about it. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Worst Ways. So, let's talk instrumental. Instrumental mix. So instrumental mix is solid for what it is. It leaves like a lot of the grit in. I almost felt like at the beginning, of vocals and the instrumental were like a little bit clashy, but not too much. Which also could be intentional too, because sometimes you like to leave that in for like the grittiness effect, but not too many grabs with the instrumental at all. Vocals sit nice, so yeah, nothing like too crazy. But besides that, instrumental shining star. Probably the structure. It's somewhat more of like a simple style of instrumental, but I do like the structure with the outro and how it comes in and goes out. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go with structure on this one for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely a structure. Let's talk vocals, vocal mix. Again, raw, gritty, but still leaves the emotion in. I wouldn't say the levels are too off. I think the instrumental really is the only thing that needs like a little bit of a fine tuning, right? But yeah, vocal mix, not too many grabs with that at all. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing. Nothing I would like really change at this point. This is all stuff that you can like continue to put out music and improve on. You know what I mean? So vocal mix solid for where it's at. Vocal shining star. Probably the writing. Flow and cadence and delivery's up there, but I feel like the writing is like very much on point, 100%, just because it's very honest. You know what I mean? It's very honest and like sincere writing. So, I'm gonna go with writing for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Again, with these IRL photos, man, like these are always good for like little loose singles or just like something like really light that you want to put out, or you don't really want to go too crazy with cover art. Something like this always really works out well. You know what I mean? I talk about this a lot here on the show, but again, even if you just like threw like a filter or like some parental advisory or like a text or whatever, like something like this always works out. You know what I mean? Always works out. So, aesthetics on point, especially for a single. Overall theme, Worst Ways. Again, another one of those more emotional kinds of tracks. You know what I mean? It's one of those tracks where like you got to get some shit off your chest sometimes, and it feels a lot better to just record it and get it out and release it rather than like try to talk to somebody and get some advice, and which I think that's a good thing too. You should always talk to somebody. But sometimes when it comes to music and art, you can like what's the word? You can kind of craft your own story, and you can kind of like craft it how you want, and nobody's gonna ever like judge you for it or anything like that. You know what I mean? So one of those ways that you could like really get a lot of shit off your chest in a healthy way. You know what I mean? So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Rip Bands. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend, and much love. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, and of course, make sure you go follow Rip Bands on Twitter. There are only 9 followers away from 60, so make sure you go show them some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. Let's see here. So we left off with the homie Rip Bands. Up next is the homie Lil Teflon. Now, it's been a while since we heard from Teflon, man. A very talented hip-hop artist came through with a feature, actually. Why Would I Remix by the homie Jay Prizzy. I'm down. I'm down. Let's see what we got here. All right, let's get a quick little pause here. Let's see. And it's uploaded on Teflon's channel too. There's a new collab for me and the artist Jay Breezy recorded at Sound Studios in Manhattan. Feel free to take a listen, leave a like, comment, subscribe, notification bell, all that good jazz. Lots of comments from TikTok, came from TikTok. Love that. Love when people say that. I came from TikTok, I came from Instagram. Shout out to them, man. Shout out to them. All right, let's get it. Jay Breezy, Why Would I remix featuring Lil Teflon.
I think that's the one, you know.
Big white G shit, nigga. Buddha, I see you, homie. This dedication too, nigga. They not like us, my nigga. Go. Buddha, we got us on, man. YSG.
Why would I chill with these fake niggas? I don't even trust them.
Yeah.
Why would I talk with these broke niggas? You can't even build with them. Why would you try? Why would I lie? You ain't gon' slide. I'm always outside. Why would I slide with these fuck niggas? But these pussy niggas ain't gon' slide. Why would I beat with niggas on the book? But they never be posted outside. Why would you try?
Yeah.
Why would I lie? You ain't gon' slide.
Talk to him.
I'm
Talk
always
to him.
outside.
Talk to him. Look, I'm deep in this game, no Tetris. Stand ground to get tested. Come correct or get checked, bitch. No Casanova, I'm a set trick. Pulling up on your set shit. Well loved and respected. In the hood, I'm accepted. I love when I hold it, I slept with. I'm on to protect it. Can't come around, I'm selective. Peep shit, detectives. They want me locked up and arrested. Get the money invested. Stay with the plug connected. Move funny, get rejected. All my ops well rested. I go for the coins collected. I've been chosen, selected. And my flow is perfected. Everything is expected. Was hated on and neglected. Stay strapped, I suggested. Sick with the bars infected. Sick with the bars infected.
Why would I chill with these fake niggas? I don't even trust them. Why would I talk with these broke niggas? You can't even build with them. Why would you try? Why would I lie? You ain't gon' slide. I'm always outside. Why would I slide with these fuck niggas? But these pussy niggas ain't gon' slide. Why would I beat with niggas on the book? But they never be posted outside. Why would you try? Why would I lie? You ain't gon' slide. I'm always outside.
Tough. Real tough. Wow. They absolutely killed that. Let's go, man. Well done. That was a very well put together track, if I do say so myself. That was just like a banger from like front to back to front. It's just, come on. Yeah. Alrighty, my friends. Let's get into it. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. So we're gonna talk about we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental. We're gonna talk about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of Why Would I. So let's talk instrumental. Obviously, being a remix, right? But I do love the choice regardless. But the mix is fantastic because I mean, even if it is a remix, you do have to make sure the beat actually matches the vocals and everybody sounds solid on it, right? But yeah, I'm big on the mix. I'm definitely big on the mix for sure. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Drums hit really, really hard. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice. Nothing I would like ultimately change on this. A very tight, well-rounded mix. 100%. No question. So, instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Gotta be the drums. No doubt. Sound selection, patterns, everything about the drums is fucking insane. So, definitely gotta go drums on this one for sure. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix from both Jay and Teflon are fantastic. They both sound really, really fucking solid on this instrumental. And again, no gripes, nothing like super clashy, too overbearing, nothing I would like ultimately change on this one, to be completely honest with you. Again, levels are good, quality's good, a very like well-rounded mix when it comes down to vocals, for sure. So yeah, definitely no gripes on this. No way. So vocal mix solid. Vocal shining star. Vocal shining star. Probably, I was gonna say the hook, but probably the writing and lyrics across the board. To be honest with you, I felt like again it was a good mix of like braggadocious mixed with like really like hard head kind of vibes. You know what I mean? So I'm gonna go writing and lyrics on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. We got a little bit of like a interesting cover here, right? With the like unreleased file screen recording here, and then the homie Jay here too. So like I feel like this one is like a simple but very effective kind of cover, right? Especially for like a loose single or something like that. So not too shabby at all. Overall theme, why would I? I mean, a very self-explanatory, kind of diss track, not really diss track, you know, kind of just like a fuck you sort of track, you know. It's just like a middle finger type shit. So, I feel like you know it's right there in your face, and it's one of those tracks that definitely like hype you up, and it really brings the energy for sure. So, well done, my friends, well done. Huge shout out to the homie Lil Teflon. Make sure you go subscribe to their YouTube channel. They're approaching 3.1K on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Teflon on Twitter. They are only 10 followers away from 630, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. All right. So we left off with the homie Lil Teflon. Up next is the homie Mike Body. Now, it's been a while since we heard from the homie Mike Body, man. I don't even know if we heard from them in 2025. If we have, it was probably like winter, like January, February-ish, something like that. But Mike Body, very talented hip-hop artist, came through the track titled Pearls of Wisdom. I'm down. Let's get into it. Let's see what we got here. All right. June 25th. So little under like a month old, so still very new. I'm down. Let's get into it. Pearls of Wisdom, Mike Body. Let's go.
Yeah. Wisdom. She out of this world. Out of this world. She out of this world. Talking to my favorite girl. Wisdom full of pearls. Her value can't be valued because it is out of this world. Talking to my favorite girl. Wisdom full of pearls. Her value can't be valued because it is out of this world. Talking to my favorite girl. Wisdom full of pearls. Her value can't be valued because it is out of this world. Talking to my favorite girl. Wisdom full of pearls. Her value can't be valued because it is out of this world. Yeah. If it's all about love in a bunches. On Valentine's Day I'm holding grudges. My enemies can't hold my luggage. Can't praise them if I'm hating on my brothers. Both eating from this bread that's above us. A rebuke and love might cut you. Sean Carter, friend of foe, Jazzo. I utter, gotta pray for these snakes in the gutter. Spitting venom on Spider-Man's cover. Trying to make it through this jungle being humble. Inside is craving a hunter. I ain't OKC, my thunder. Got sidetracked with a black cat. Don't need Felicia Hardy in my lap. Too many kings, they died on their backs. For the girls and the cars and the cash. Talking to my favorite girl. Wisdom full of pearls. Her value can't be valued because it is out of this world. Talking to my favorite girl. Wisdom full of pearls. Her value can't be valued because it is out of this world. Talking to my favorite girl. Wisdom full of pearls. Her value can't be valued because it is out of this world. Talking to my favorite girl. Wisdom full of pearls. Her value can't be valued because it is out of this world. Man of God, he evolved, that's God's work. Nature boy, and me still wanna do dirt. Ric Flair drip written on my hunter hearse. Hemsley, I was taught the game since birth. Living proof that it really does take a village. Never RKO by a legend killer. Still up 5-0 from life and death experiences. You go figure.
Well done.
Where would I be without wisdom? Where would I be?
Well done. Wow. Jesus. Again, that was a crazy song, like front to back. That was like very well structured out. Good lord. Wow, wow, wow. All right. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Pearls of Wisdom. So, instrumental. I love the choice. I feel like this instrumental choice for this is like very much on point, especially for like more of like an R&B kind of like more emotionally charged kind of track. I like the choice for sure. Instrumental mix though, fantastic. Nothing clashing to overbearing. Vocal stat nice. Sound selection was good. Nothing that I would like really change on this one at all. I feel like the mix is right where it needs to be when it comes down to the instrumental for sure, even with the sample and everything. So instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Speaking of the sample, definitely the fucking sample. Because it's so well utilized, right? It's not like spam throughout the whole song, but it's like sprinkled in throughout the track, and I feel like the sample is just very much on point for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely a sample. Stock vocals, vocal mix. I'm pretty sure Mike has always had like a really solid vocal mix, but this one here is very sharp, very sharp. Levels are solid, nice tight, well-rounded mix. Drums cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice in the instrumental. Nothing I would like ultimately super change about this one either. I definitely enjoy the vocal mix for this style and Pearls of Wisdom in general, right? Vocal shining star, definitely the fucking writing. You know, hook is up there. I feel like the hook is really well written and performed, but the writing, there's some creative bars throughout the whole song that I feel like you just can't forget. You know what I mean? Especially like the Legend Killer, like RKO line, and just the small stuff is like really cool. So definitely writing and lyrics for me, for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely a sample. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. You know, especially when you're talking about women or just like anybody that you idolize or somebody that you like look up to, or it could be like a partner, it could be your mother, it could be a family member, it could be anybody. This is one of those art pieces that kind of like, you know, it really encapsulates like the beauty of people. You know what I mean? And it's one of those things where it's just like, for a song like this is like a perfect cover because it's like so, you know, pearls of wisdom and things like that. It's just, it's hard to put an art piece to it, and this one I feel like fucking nailed it for sure, 100%, especially for a single too. So aesthetics on point. Pearls of Wisdom, I mean, you know, I think Mike says it in the song, you know, like, where would I be without wisdom? And it's true. I mean, you know, you don't spawn into this world with wisdom. You know, you have to listen to people, you have to learn, you have to keep your mouth shut, you have to really learn from people who know better than you, or, you know, are older, or just have wisdom, right? It's a very useful skill in life for sure. So I feel like Mike did a really good job describing that. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Mike Body. Make sure you go follow Mike on Spotify, and of course make sure you go follow Mike on Twitter. They are only 4 followers away from 530. Make sure you go show them some love on the bird at my friends. And of course, your art's featured in today's episode, and every single episode will be linked in the description of YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Every single Thursday, every single Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. So make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. And if you already have, thank you. We appreciate you. You're at Music Mondays. So, up next is a very talented returning artist, Denise Dennis, came through with a brand new track. Now, it's been a while since we heard from the homie Dennis, man. Man. It has definitely been a while. And they submitted a Spotify link. Let's go see what we got here. They submitted a track titled Fire. Now, this actually came out in 2025. Let's see what we got here. Okay, July 4th. So this was like super new, quite literally only like 10 days old. So very new, hot off the press. Let's get into it. Fire. A little like pop house vibe, all right. Good. So well done, what the fuck? Saw a little fade out too? Shit. Well done. Well done. I love the vibe of this one. Very upbeat, very God, it was almost like nostalgic listening to this, right? Because it kind of reminded me of like 90s, like late 90s pop, like early 2000s, and almost with like a little bit of like house, kind of like fast-paced energy mixed in there too. It was a good blend of styles, I will say that. That's for sure. That's for damn sure. Let's break it down though. Let's talk about it. So, we're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Fire. So, instrumental, love the choice, especially for like this vision and this style. I mean, you probably couldn't have picked a better instrumental. I love the way that this one sounds. It's like it's got a good energy to it, very upbeat, very fast pace. Um Instrumental mix, fantastic. Definitely no gripes, especially with the type of style that it is, right? Everything kind of has to be on point, right? Like it really has to connect here for this to sound like it does. And definitely no gripes at all. Yeah, nothing clashing, too overbearing. I like the sound selection a lot. Vocals sound nice, drums cut through nicely. Nothing's like clashing at all, That's like the most important thing. So, instrumental mix very much on point. Instrumental Shining Star. I was gonna say the drums, right? I was gonna say the drums because like it keeps up the pace so well, but the melodies are really bringing that like classic nostalgia vibe in more of like a modern way, right? I'm gonna go with the melodies on this for sure. Drums are a close second though. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Such a on point vocal mix for this style, right? I feel like the mixing was like very much like right where it needed to be. Perfect amount of auto tune, perfect amount of like backing vocals, and like everything just came together so well. throughout even the whole 3 minutes, there wasn't even anything that kind of caught me off guard, or I was like, ooh, that could be better. Nah, vocal mix is super on point. Has like a more modern flavor to it. So yeah, definitely no gripes with the vocal mix whatsoever. Especially not hearing from them in, quite some time. This is a great song to fucking bring back for sure. So yeah, no gripes with the vocal mix. Vocal Shining Star. Mm. Mm-mm-mm. I do like the flow and cadence and delivery. And the writing's up there too. I mean, you could kind of argue the hook as well. I feel like the hook is very catchy. Something that'll get stuck in your head. Mm. This one's tough, actually. Because you could really argue any of those. Let's go with writing on this one. Let's go with writing and lyrics on this one, for sure. Just because it's one of those, like, it's passionate, but it's very, like, palatable. It's like almost anybody could get behind this. You know what I mean? So let's go writing, for sure. Instrumental solid, definitely the melodies. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. I love this cover. Again, simple, straight to the point, and even going back to like that whole like selfie, real life picture kind of vibe. This is one of those ones where you take it a step further and do a little bit more editing. Add some filters, kind of like color correct, and do whatever you want to do, right, and like make it your vision. And then you have fire in the bottom right hand side. Yeah, I love this first single, and the colors too, like the blues and the reds. Yeah. I feel like this really, really matched up with this for sure. So aesthetics definitely on point. Overall theme, fire. I mean, everybody knows what it's like to like be in love for like the first time, or like just like not for the first time either. Like I guess like just like being in love with somebody that like you actually really fuck with. You know what I mean? Like it could feel like this fire in your stomach, and like sort of like that, like when you meet with somebody that you really like and you connect with and it's flawless, right? You start getting that passion and that fire inside of you, and one of those kinds of tracks, right? And I think Dennis did a really good job kind of breaking this one down for sure. And we got Dennis in the chat. Welcome on in, my friend. Happy Monday. Let's get it, baby. Nostalgia, you always get it. I kind of had a feeling it just brought me back to like my childhood too, and I was like, man, it's just like way more modern. You know what I mean? Like way more modern. But well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to you. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, of course, and of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter as well. Thank you so much for the submission. They're only 8 followers away from 870, so make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter as well. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 320 subscribers, or actually 330. I lied. We upload every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love. Let's get it, baby. All right, my friends. Let's see here. Up next is the homie Offspring Mysterious. Now, Offspring, a multi-talented artist. Everything from production to editing to filming to writing to designing. Offspring does it all. But they came through with a new YouTube upload. 3,000 onslaughts. Let's see what we got here from the Offspring Mysterious, man. All right. Hit it with a little 720. Let's see here. 3,000 onslaughts. Holy shit, it's been 2.5 years since I hit 2,000 followers on SoundCloud. This is the longest journey of my life. Here's why. Yesterday I hit 3K. Congrats on the 3K, Offspring. Congrats on the fucking 3K. Let's go. We love that. Got some love in the comments as well. Yes. Okay. I'm down. Let's get into it. Offspring Mysterious, 3,000 onslaughts. Let's go. Real. Literally be at like 3 a.m. Popped in right on some Offspring. That's good on. Look up well. Let's get it, baby. Happy Monday. Is that a Corona bottle? No, it's not. I thought it was a beer bottle. String's like, what the fuck? I agree. I agree. I was like, what the fuck? Oh, we tried to call him. It's so real, dude. Yeah. He's like, bro, what the fuck are you doing? Out of gods. I feel like we've reacted to this like years ago. This song, I mean. Yeah. is crazy. Fire. $3K, baby. Like unfathomable. Yeah, right. I agree, Anilka. I agree, man. I agree. Road to 4K begins, eh? I like the nighttime shots. W. Like peace. Fire. Yep. We're on the move here. Road to 4,000. That's what I said. I called it. Let's go, man. Offspring Mysterious. Road to 4K begins, baby. Good for you. Let's go, man. Been a journey. Been a journey. Yeah, I think Offspring Mysterious submitted to the Music Mondays podcast, I think for the first time in like 2023 or 2020. 2023 or 2022. So we've been there for like a pretty early part of the journey past like 2K. You know what I mean? So well done. Well done, my friend. Congrats on 3K for sure. That's quite the achievement. Shining star of this one, other than the concept of a 3K little montage here, probably the editing. I feel like this is some of my favorite editing that I've seen from Offspring. Just the transitions. Some of the ideas were kind of good too. But the editing was very much on point, especially like showing all the covers and, you know, just kind of taking a trip down memory lane for 3K, you know? So well done, my friend. Well done. And congratulations on 3K, baby. Let's get it. Road to 4K begins for the boy, Offspring Mysterious. Let's go. Huge shout out to Offspring Mysterious. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much, much love. Make sure you go follow Offspring Mysterious on YouTube. They're only 10 subs away from 250. And of course, make sure you go follow Offspring Mysterious on Twitter. They are only 10 followers away from 820. So go show them some love over there. Bird at my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists some love. Get it, baby. All right, my friends. We left off in the homie Offspring series. Up next is the homie Rail Jeezy. Now, this is a first-time submitting artist. Rapper-musician, Miles Vegas 418. Here's my latest album, Miles Vegas. You can do any song from this project or listen to the whole thing. I'd greatly appreciate it. We got you, Rail G, first-time submitting artist. Let's get it. Welcome to Music Mondays, my friend. All right, 10 songs. You guys know the deal. So, when it comes to albums, we just start from the top. We always go to the first track unless it's like some kind of like smaller, like 50-second intro. But, interesting. Okay, so first time submitting artist, Rail G, Max and Ruby off of Miles Vegas. Let's go. Max and Ruby, Ruby and Max.
Shout out Joey Henry.
Max and Ruby.
This my medicine. I left my wallet in Chicago. Like what the hell do I know? Pablo Escobar been swerving plot holes, bringing you some pack of what the fox grows, selling you a dream that's American, embellishing the cause you could tell a friend. When it comes to smooth jazz raps, ain't no comparison. Johan killed the masses with this pen again. Wish that I could do the Ben 10 again and transform into another monster. Imaginary Fosters getting turned into some Contras. Imagine me inside a box with no key and lock, but I'm breaking free. Ask me how I'm feeling good, but I hate to leave. Taking all these tests when I need to take some space to breathe. Tortoise run the race, so I'm pacing how I step my feet. Ask me how I'm living in the present, I'm just blessed to breathe. I'm just blessed to breathe. Late night, get a call from my mother and she steady weep, asking me how long did I go without her texting me. I said I don't know, I've been steady with the pen and sheets, pen and pad. Know my mama proud, but on the low key I've been wishing dad. Only met him twice in this life, I wonder what we had. If I never quit the sports, I wonder if he'd still be mad. Reflective on these thoughts, kept them demons in my biggest bag. Tucked in under notebooks, teacher called me in the middle class. Why you spacing out? I don't know, but now I'm missing class. Hope I got some presents, I don't wanna give my gift to Gab. Poetry my essence, so I know what I'm appearing as. Caucasian people love my facial features, but they fearing jazz. Why we gotta have this conversation every time it's asked? Experimental music is so crucial for your useless ass. So don't tell me what I should be doing with your groupie raps. I'ma change the channel on your presence, man, this movie bad. Gotta keep my king close in essence like it's Ruby Max. Like it's Ruby Max. Yeah.
He's talking that shit on this.
What do you think about the phrase, the new black music, and the description of some of the newer styles? Well, phrases is I don't know. It don't mean much.
Wow. What a great intro. Judging off that, this is definitely a project that I would like spin all the way through as a new listener for sure. No question. No question. Well done. Well done, my friend. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're talking about vocals, and we're talking about the overall theme of Max and Ruby. So, instrumental. A very straightforward, simple instrumental, but the mix is very solid on it. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing I would like ultimately change about the mix whatsoever. A rail sounds really, really good on it as well. Drums cut through nicely. Or melodies kind of balance out. I mean, vocals definitely sit nice too. Yeah, no real gripes with the instrumental mix at all, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, no, definitely no gripes at all. I feel like it's very like well-rounded, tight, right where it needs to be. Instrumental mix solid. Instrumental shining star. Probably the melodies, right? I mean, like I said, it's a very straightforward kind of instrumental, so I feel like the melodies are obviously the big player here for sure. Let's go with the melodies as a shining star, 100%. So instrumental solid. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Again, rail sounds really, really solid on this. Levels are good. Nothing clashing too overbearing. Everything bounces out well with the melodies. Yeah, nothing that I would like really, really tweak on this one either. You know what I mean? I feel like it's perfect right where it needs to be, 100%. So, a vocal mix is very on point, for sure. Vocal shining star, gotta be the writing. I mean, it's very storytelling, but still, like, very clever, almost, like, poetic kind of style of writing, too. So, yeah, writing and lyrics on this is crazy. But, I mean, you could argue flow and cadence and delivery, too. So, instrumental solid, definitely melodies. Vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Miles Vegas. I mean, I love these, you know, IRL shots that we've been getting today. You know what I mean? Like, we've been getting a lot of IRL shots that are just super, super on point. This one's very high quality in HD, so it looks like an actual photo, right? And just like that side shot with like the shadows in the background, not too much editing at all. You know what I mean? It really does well for an album or even a single, but this one definitely like slides in the album slot really well, to be honest with you. Really well. So aesthetics definitely on point, especially for an album. Overall theme, Max Ruby. This isn't one that I would again really dig too deep for a theme on. This is one where I'd kind of appreciate like what you're about to hear and you know kind of take a step back and kind of learn Rails, you know, writing and lyricism kind of tendencies. You know what I mean? So definitely one where it's a good intro to a full length project. You know what I mean? So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Rail G. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify, by the way. And of course, make sure you go follow them on Twitter. They're only 6 followers away from 180, so make sure you go show them some love over there on Twitter, man. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you show the artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Alrighty, my friends. Let's see here. So up next, we have the homie Soapy Lou. Now it's been, I think, like a couple weeks since we heard from Soapy Lou. I think for the first time that we've reacted to them was like last week or like the week before, something like that. But they came through with a track titled Rick Ross Outro. I'm a little late, but peep the outro of the Roxby Lou since the last time y'all peeped the intro. I'm down. I'm absolutely down. I do, in fact, remember the intro. Absolutely. Yeah. Soapy Lou and Roxby. Yeah. Okay, I remember Leapfrog. Yeah, that's right. And we got the Rick Ross outro. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. Soapy Lou and the homie Roxby. Rick Ross outro. Let's go.
'Cause I wanna go right now and fly till the world's way down. Smoke till we leave our clouds and make it like we know how. 'Cause I wanna go right now and fly till the world's way down. Smoke till we leave our clouds and make it like we know how.
Please share.
Oh my gosh, that's me.
Hate on me for my appearance, but you can't make that money. Appearance really clear to see. You can't fuck with me. Past times, get no mercy, really struggled through it. Making money nowadays, I really grew to it. I'm too smooth for these folks. They be hating like a pastime. Let me know how much you got. When was the last time? New girl, really sweet, and I think she a dime. Last hoe was using me, I found out just in time. Got me rushing to the money like I'm big time. Said she rushing, never sweet, bitter like a lime. Yeah, I write all of my raps, everything on purpose.
Damn.
She was texting me last week and said you serve no purpose. That's sweet, she wasn't like that when I hit the targets. On the ones steady hating, show up as a carcass. And the ones who showing love, going up with conscience. I really appreciate support, but I ain't done yet. Really rapping on this hoe, it seems I'm really sad. If you don't think I'm getting better, then let's make a bet. If you don't think I'm getting cheddar, then let's make a bet. If you ain't get the letter, you gotta use the net. If you ain't making buckets, then just hit the bag. If you ain't chasing paper, then just hit the sack. It's that authentic shit, that's what you really lack.
Hey. Ain't how it is, blood.
More money, more problems, got a belly big as Rick Ross. And that's proof of dollars. I don't keep all my bitches on a nap, make a wreck, go to sleep, get up, then take another rack. Get to get another rack, and we making stacks. They'll remember us around here making racks. Y'all remember Rick Ross was a CEO? They don't really talk about that anymore, but I remember Rick Ross was a CEO from that one RXK Nephew song. That's all. Back to the song.
With the coupe in my Pontiac G5, not quite mafia, yeah, I'm driving 3-5, New York
What the
City
fuck?
drifting like it's anarchy, saw a big fat bitch telling anarchy, left another lunch meats trapping in the deli, put that sourdough on top, slather us some jelly, they gon' appreciate me dead next Machiavelli, fat parents bitch say, oh yeah, her name is Kelly, and you know that hoe got a big round belly, see my name on the phone, she gon' pick up the telly, we both on booty, she just looking for my cash app. Make her drive me round the city, she like where the trap at. I let my ex mug a spot when she on my nerves. Now when she behind the wheel, she let the car swerve. And I ain't scared of no drizzy, I like grown women. Even playing around with girls, I'm a grown sir.
Like Lil B said, man, I love you. You need to be yourself. Be based. Be different. Be not what everyone wants you to be. Be true to yourself. Because if you're not being true to you, then who are you as yourself? You need to think about that. You really need to think about that.
Not wrong.
If I've learned anything from RXK Nephew, it's
What
be
the
who you want to be. Prosper, shine.
We're just name dropping everybody.
Stray on the right path. Don't do drugs. What else can I say? Thank you for listening. This rocks be lit, and we built this.
Okay, that was a fucking trip. That was absolutely a fucking trip. Wow, 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 wow. Holy shit. So, there was a lot to take in here. I mean, it's, 5 minutes and 40 seconds, right? So it's definitely been on the longer side, right? I'd say like 30 or so seconds, or like the outro monologue, but yeah, there's a lot to take in there, but let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're going to talk about 3 things here. We're going to talk about the instrumental, we're going to talk about vocals, and we're going to talk about the overall theme of the track. So, let's talk instrumental. I love it, to be honest with you. The mix is fine. Nothing like super clashy to overbearing. Nothing that I would like really switch up on this one. Bass hits nice, drum hits nice. Sound selection solid. Nothing that I would like super change on this one, to be honest with you. Yeah, no. Vocal mix or instrumental mix definitely on point. 100%. No gripes. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand. Damn. There's a lot here. I mean, drums are crazy. The structure's up there. The melodies are definitely up there. I'm gonna have to go with the drums on this one. I have to go with the drums on this one. Sound selection, patterns, everything about the drums is very solid. Very solid. So instrumental solid. Definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Actually really solid. I mean, for something in 2024, I'm sure the mixing has like improved, throughout all the more recent releases, right? But definitely like raw, straight to the point kind of vocal mix, but not like clashy to overbearing. Drums still cut through nicely. Vocals still sit nice. So nothing I would like really change on this vocal mix. Vocal Shining Star, on the other hand. Probably the writing, to be honest with you. It was very honest writing, very honest and like from the heart kind of writing. Like you could tell they both were being very honest on this track, for sure. So definitely writing, for sure. Instrumental solid, vocal solid. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics. Roxby Lou. And I spoke a little bit about this like a couple weeks ago, but again, it has this like duo kind of cover here, you know? It's like half blue, half red, and it's really perfect for like one of those like duo types of projects. You know what I mean? Um Simple, straight to the point, but also very much album worthy, you know? And especially for like a duo project. I think it's very much on point for sure. So aesthetics up there. Overall theme, Rick Ross outro. I mean, obviously the Rick Ross outro was very much self-explanatory, but I do think that they did a good job kind of leading the project out, right? And especially with like the monologue at the end, I feel like that was a good way to like end off a project and send all the listeners off. You know what I mean? So, well done, my friends. Well done. Huge shout out to the homie Soapy and the homie Roxby. Make sure you go follow them on Spotify. And of course, make sure you go follow the homie Soapy Lou over here on Twitter as well. They're only 3 followers away from 480, so make sure you go show them some love on the Bird app. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on this channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Alrighty, my friends, up next would be the homie Jordan, but we already reacted to Jordan way earlier in the show, so make sure you go check out the beginning of Music Mondays and go show Jordan some love, because that was a fucking banger music video. Following Jordan, we got the homie Wesley Rocco. Now, this will be a first-time submitting artist, but it's not the first time we've had Wesley here on the show. We've you know, had some features and some collabs and whatnot, but this will be the first time that we get a solo Wesley submission. Finally going to submit some solo material. This is my style, full style, with plenty more coming. Thanks for always showing support. We got you, Wesley. Thank you for your submission, homie. All right, we got all the wham blammers right here. All right, let's just keep it basic. Let's go a little Spotify link. Oh, it's okay. No, wait, hold on. Go to YouTube then. There we go. All right, give it a quick little pause. Let's see. Cover is crazy. My lord, the cover is crazy. Project dropping soon. Thanks for listening. Appreciate it. Links in descriptions, all that good jazz. Love that. Love in the comments as well. All right, I'm down. Let's get into it. July 26th of 2024. So only a year old. Only a year old. Not like super new, but not super old either. So let's get into it. Wesley Rocco, Attitude, official lyric video. Let's go. Oh, I didn't even notice it's a lyric video. I like this setup for one. Smart. What the fuck? Oh man.
Bitch, I got an attitude. I'm always in the mood. Fuck you if I'm being rude. Can't tell me what to do. Bitches never have a clue until they see the proof. Hit you with the fucking tool and let the hammer loose.
Whoa. Whoa.
Bitch, I have no manners. Fuck your code and fuck your standards. Jumping all by standards. Run your shit and hold your hands up. You done pissed me off. Now you finna take a loss. Yeah, my fist gon' break your jaw. All that talk was off or not. Fucking up the scene. Chasing nothing but that green. Still stuck in planet cream. Yeah, bitch, by any means. Tell these haters suck a dick. Man, I bet I fuck your bitch. Stay on my destructive shit. Lame ass hoes can't fuck with this. Fuck you, whack producers. Let them taste this fucking Ruger. Fuck beefing on computers. I'ma run up with some shooters. Don't wanna hear no bitchin'. It's your fault, you lame musician. You gon' see dormitition and your limbs might end up missing.
Bruh. He's letting loose on this.
Bitch, I got an attitude. I'm always in the mood. Fuck you if I'm being rude. Can't tell me what to do. Bitches never have a clue until they see the proof. Hit them with a fucking tool and let the hammer loose.
What the fuck? I love the lyric video too. My god. That was nuts. That one kind of caught me off guard. Wesley really slid on that, man. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about 3 things here. We're gonna talk about the instrumental, we're gonna talk about vocals, and we're gonna talk about the overall theme of Attitude. So, instrumental, love the choice, especially for something like this, hard, fast pace, 808 just fucking smacks you. It's perfect, 100%. Mix is very much on point, nothing clashing too overbearing. Drums definitely cut through nicely, vocals sit nice in the instrumental. Nothing that I would gripe about on this at all, you know, especially being that we haven't like dove into what, you know, Wesley's kind of full discography, right? Mix is very much on point when it comes down to the instrumental, for sure. Even down to the sound selection, very much on point. Instrumental Shining Star. You know, it's got to be the drums, right? I mean, the melody's up there for like giving that attitude and like almost scary kind of vibe, right? It's a little bit more like dark, but the drums are just they just fucking hit. You know what I mean? The drums just fucking hit. The drums are very much on point. So instrumental solid, definitely the drums. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix, very much on point. I love Wesley's vocals here. I definitely have no gripes with it at all. No way. And again, drums cut through nicely. Vocals sit nice in the on the instrumental. Nothing that I would like ultimately super change about this one, to be honest with you. Raw, straight to the point, but still very much high quality. Levels are good, so nothing that I would switch up there at all, to be honest with you. Vocal Shining Star. Probably the flow and cadence and delivery. I feel like how this was performed was fucking awesome, you know? Wesley is very believable. It's just like letting the emotion out and the anger and, you know, just getting a little more like cocky and somewhat just attitude, you know? It's a great title for this, Attitude, 100%. You know what I mean? So, definitely the flow and cadence and delivery for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely drums, vocal solid, flow, cadence, delivery. Let's talk theme, aesthetics. Love the Attitude cover. I love the red. You know, red usually represents anger, right? And obviously Wesley was letting off some steam in this track here, and I feel like the red vibe was perfect. And it's got this like metallic Attitude text and just like the face in the background. It's like one of those covers that like the more you look at it, the more you see kind of thing. You know what I mean? So aesthetic's definitely on point. Melody gave some creative dark vibe. I agree, Ghost. I agree. Overall theme though for Attitude, very much self-explanatory. Wesley had a fucking attitude, you know, like sometimes people fucking suck, and you know when it comes down to beef and problems, and sometimes, you know, rather than go and get yourself in trouble, you know, making tracks like this can really let off some of that steam. You know what I mean? Obviously there's like different real situations and whatnot, but when it comes down to something like this, it's a good way to let off steam for sure. And I feel like Wesley fucking nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. Well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to Wesley. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel like Music Mondays just did, because now they're only 5 subs away from 140. So make sure you go show them some love over there on the tube. And of course, make sure you go follow Wesley on Twitter. They're quite literally only 1 follower away from 540. So make sure you go show them some love over there on the Bird app, my friends. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the episode. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz is over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Whew. Well done, my friends. Well done. Up next is the homie Filter. We haven't heard from Filter in a little bit, actually. Filter, a multi-genre talented artist and producer, came through with a unreleased track titled Baby, missing a little bit of vocals as well. Let's see what we got here. I'm down. We got a little bit of a private unreleased link here, too. I'm down. All right, so we got the homie Filter. Let's go. Baby. Is that the... Sounds like the Slenderman theme. Stutters are crazy. Whoa. Crazy. Wow. My God. Nice little fade out too. Wow, bro. Wow. Good to have some Filter back on the show, man. That's one of the most like expressive artists that we've seen here on the show. Filter is just an expressionist, if you will. This is a cool vibe. Yeah, right. I agree. I agree with both you guys for sure. 100%. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're talking about three things. We'll talk about the instrumental. We'll talk about vocals. Talk about the overall theme of Baby. So instrumental, Filter is such an experimental yet like expressive producer. You know what I mean? They really go all out on some of their production. It's just some of the most unique stuff that I've ever heard here on the show. It's just so original and so it's just passion filled, so I like the instrumental a lot. Instrumental mix, obviously for an unreleased demo. I'm not gonna kind of go in on the mix, right? Because it's obviously unreleased, kind of a work in progress here. But for what it is, I do like the grittiness and the muddiness of it. Nothing like super clashy to overbearing. Especially for like Filter's vocals, I feel like it's very much on point. So instrumental mix, very much solid. Instrumental Shining Star, gotta be the structure. How it comes in and goes out and it redrops. Sound selection's great. Yeah, gotta be the structure. For sure. Gotta be the structure. I mean, you could argue drums there, could argue melodies, but yeah, the structure there is very much on point, for sure. So, instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Again, for an unreleased demo, I'm not gonna go too deep into like the mix, but for what it is, it's definitely solid. I mean, it definitely has that Filter kind of spice to it for sure. Nothing like super clashy, too overbearing. I mean, the more melodic parts are so gritty and it's so honest. You know what I mean? So, I've always liked projects like this for Filter. So, a vocal mix right where it needs to be, especially for a demo. Vocal Shining Star, definitely the hook, because the hook is fucking crazy. No question. I mean, you could argue writing, right? But I mean, I'm gonna go with the hook on this one for sure. I'm definitely gonna go with the hook. No instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Vocal solid, definitely the hook. Let's talk theme. Aesthetics, obviously unreleased, so this could be like a temporary cover that could eventually change and whatnot. But definitely a good temp cover for sure. Overall theme, Baby. I mean, a little bit more on the emotional side, but also, one of those kind of like, again, get it off your chest, and if you're feeling like extra down or you're feeling extra up, sometimes those are good emotions to like capitalize off of, you know what I mean? So, very solid, Filter offering here for sure. So well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Filter. Make sure you go follow them on Twitter. They're literally only 7 followers away from 40, so go show them some love over there on the bird app, my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be links in the description of the upload. And of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you have not already. We're approaching 330 subscribers, so make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love. We upload every single Thursday and Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel, per usual. Make sure you go show the channel these artists some love, and if you already have, thank you. Alrighty, my friends. Let's see here. So up next we have Royale Michael, a very, very talented hip-hop multi-genre artist. Came through with a track titled Edge, the official music video. What's good, Music Buddies? This is my submission for 714. My song plus visual titled Edge, available on all music platforms. Song is also on Spotify. If it won't play, thank you. We got you, Michael. We got you, homie. Thank you for your submission, per usual. Go pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got here from Lonely Michael, man. 720. 5 months ago, 320. Yep, credits and description. Filmed by Cade Morgan. Lost some love in the comments. Okay, this could be crazy. Could definitely be fucking crazy. Alright, I'm down. Let's get into it. Royale Michael Edge official music video. Let's go. I have a feeling it's gonna be nuts.
Yeah.
I got a feeling it's gonna be nuts. It's gonna be crazy. That looks epic as hell already.
I've been living on a, hey, I've been living on a, living on a, hey, I've been living on the edge, foot up on the gas. You only live once, and I don't care if I crash. I've been living on a, yeah, living on a,
okay.
Hey, I've been living on a, look, hey, let me introduce you to the kid from Southside. People see my life, they drop their jaws while they eyes wide. Nigga, where you at? Don't you see me down your timeline? If I die today, please don't show my life on Lifetime. Even when I'm quiet, look, hey, my face tell it all. Nowadays, even niggas on the bench claiming that they ball. I'm not afraid to be the one that always gotta take the fall. This college shit, got a bad bitch with my back against the wall. Realest nigga walking, swear to God. Never needed no entourage. But back in Chicago, I pay respect to Al Capone in the mob. I'm in debt.
Oh shit.
On set, I gotta act for the job. I'm the type of nigga to take something from you if I ever took a loss. Game time, prime time, Dion. Got the fitted cap with the dreadlocks. In other words, I'm Lil Jon. Like I run a game in the 2000s. Ad-libs got a bunch of options. Would I scream, what? If you niggas ever really want a problem. On the edge, foot up on the gas. You only live once, and I don't care if I crash.
Wow. Wow.
Living on a, hey, I've been living on a, living on a, hey, I've been living on the edge, foot up on the gas. You only live once, and I don't care if I crash. I've been living on a, hey, living on a, hey, I've been living on a, yeah, living on a. Look at this shit that I do, and look at this shit that you never get through. I'm swimming in pussy like True Life Crew. Real life bitch, cause I got the juice. Since 20 years old, I've been making some moves. Since y'all was born, y'all looking like fools. Rapping in languages after languages, but you niggas never went to school. You niggas better run the jewels, or we gon' run you out your shoes. People really check my life the same way broke niggas watch the news. I am like Rudy, boy, I write the rules. I'm with your bitch, boy, I set the mood. If you really wanna be a killer, you gotta surround yourself around the wolves. Look,
what the fuck?
In your DNA. If you still worry about house parties, I'ma introduce you to Kid and Play. Niggas better go and learn some real estate. Afterwards, celebrate with E&J. All these black boys hate black women, and they rather go and date a Tina Fey. What the fuck you really want me to say? Live or die, throw the truth away. I'm the type that like to play the game, while these bitch niggas like to play it safe. If you wanna learn, I'm your sensei. Got my hometown, yeah, they miles away. From the Midwest to the West Coast to the dirty South, working out the face.
Wow, bro. Wow. Oh, he demolished that. What the fuck?
Living on a, hey, I've been living on the edge, foot up on the gas. You only live once, and I don't care if I crash. I've been living on a, hey, living on a, hey, I've been living on a, living on a, I've been living on the edge. Yeah, hey, I've been living on the edge.
No shit.
I've been living on a. Living on a, hey, I've been living on a, yeah, I've been living on a, hey, I've been living on the edge.
What the fuck, bro? Great places to record? Yeah, I agree. What the fuck, man? What the fuck? And yeah, I didn't even think about that on Mooka. Like, the song is called Edge, and then like the thumbnail is like looking over the edge. I didn't even think about that. But This is fucking crazy. This is crazy. Wow. I don't even know where to start. Oh shit. All right, let's break it down. Let's get into it. We're gonna talk about three things here. Talk about the instrumental. Talk about vocals. I'm gonna talk about the official music video for Edge. Instrumental. I love the choice. Simple, but still very hard hitting. You know, a very like in your face kind of instrumental, but an instrumental that almost anybody can get behind. You know. But the mix is very much on point. Nothing clashing, too overbearing. Nothing I would like ultimately change on this. Sound selection is good. Michael sounds really, really good on top of it. Drums cut through nicely. I mean, Michael's last submission was mixed really well too, so this isn't really a shocker. But sometimes, you know, songs vary. But as far as the instrumental mix goes, very much on point. Instrumental Shining Star. I like the drums a lot, and the melodies are definitely up there. But, you know, underrated part about this instrumental, gotta be the structure. Gotta be the structure. I feel like it gave time for Michael to, like, breathe a little bit too, you know, and really just kind of, like, craft the canvas how they wanted to. So I'm gonna go with the structure on the instrumental, but you could argue drums or melodies for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely the structure. Let's talk vocals. Vocal mix. Absolutely fantastic, to be honest with you. Nothing super clashy, too overbearing again. Drums cut through nicely. Michael sounds really good on top of it. Yeah, no gripes at all. I mean, Michael has a really solid, like, raw type of voice, so you don't really want to go too crazy with the mixing unless, like, the song kind of calls for it, right? Or, like, a certain style. But, yeah, vocal mix, definitely no gripes. Levels are solid, tight, well-rounded. Nothing that I would switch on this either, to be honest with you. Vocal Shining Star. Probably the writing. I mean, there's a couple times my jaw dropped. I was like, oh, that's slick. I was like, that's cold. That's so fucking cold. But yeah, definitely writing lyrics for sure. It sounded great. I agree, Ghost. I agree. The instrumental solid. Definitely the structure. Vocal solid. Definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk about the official music video for Edge. Off rip, I love how Royal Michael is very comfortable on camera. I can see through the recommended here that they have a couple like other videos and whatnot, but they are so comfortable on camera, and it's just evident, right? It's just fucking evident. I think that's like the number one thing about artists and filming music videos, whether they're high budget, low budget, DIY, professional, it doesn't really matter. You need to be comfortable on camera, and Royal Michael is so comfortable on camera. It's just obvious. They're jamming, they're loose, their outfits are sick. They're like bopping around. They have a lot of energy in the video. This is the type of shit you want to see in videos no matter what kind of music you're making. Doesn't matter. Hip hop, rap, trap, R&B, pop, indie, alternative rock. I don't care if it's a fucking instrumental, right? This is how you want to be in music videos. And I love this energy. Love, love, love this energy. Because people aren't going to believe you if you don't believe in yourself. And it's very clear that Royal Michael believes in himself. You know what I mean? So, other than that, the editing was great. I love a lot of the transitions. It doesn't linger on one scene too long. You know, so whoever edited this did a really good job because there's like cut after cut after cut after cut. So I can only imagine what this project file looks like in like Sony Vegas or something, or Adobe, you know what I mean? But the third thing that I want to say is the locations. Much like we were talking about here in the chat, the locations are just on point, from the parking garage to the cliff to riding in the back of the truck. I mean, come on. Shining Star for me, though, got to be the locations. Although I do love Michael in this video. But definitely locations for sure. Well done, my friend. Well done. That was a fucking crazy ass submission. Well fucking done. Huge shout out to the homie Royal Michael. Make sure you go sub to their YouTube channel, just like Music Mondays just did, because now they're only quite literally one sub away from 270. So go show them some love over there on the tube, man. Of course, make sure you go follow Michael on Twitter. They're literally 6 followers away from 10. Go get him to 10, man. This is the brand new Twitter account. Go show him some love. And of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and a whole lot of good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. If you already have, thank you. We at Music Mondays, my friend. Much love. All right, so up next we have the homie On Wuka, a very, very talented hip hop artist. He got to let's fucking go, Ghost. We love that, baby. Shout out to you, Ghost, man. But up next, we got the homie Onwuka, a very, very talented hip hop artist, came through with some work in progress unreleased. Here's some Insomnia Wuka work in progress with our partner Corey. Ends about 2:20 after my verse. Pull up, cool, pull up check, and I've got Piccolo and Peter Pit bars. Actually, one of my favorite recent verses in terms of references and ball. Okay, Onwuka. We never get some unreleased Onwuka here, man. We never get some unreleased. So I'm down. Let's go see what we got here. I'm always down. Yeah, 270. Yeah, 270. Shout out to Michael though, and huge shout out to you, Ghost. Hope y'all, still a work in progress. Yeah, we got you. No worries on Wuka. No worries. Let's get into it. Insomniac starts it off too. All right, let's get into it. Insomniac pull up featuring Onwuka. Let's go. Work in progress unreleased.
Wrote this verse off 3 to the chest. I'm older and smarter. This is me at my best. From the swamps of New Jersey, lurking. Got rhymes that'll twist your girl's Birkin. Stumble in top hat like the Babadook. It's the boy mixing drinks on your mama's stoop. Make a mean kid chug lean quick. Big boy built like butter big. Throw a fit till I wake up the whole war. Sean Paul at the plate, I go yard. Got my own face on the go-kart. Insomniac, why you go so hard? Now that's no shit, Sally. Me and Corey, we tight like Kate and Al. And you know that we stun us when we pull up with guns like.
Melody is so tough.
They be like we see the fit. Rhythm dynamic, special beam cannon, the beat was spit. They throw me the dough, the fry this up like it's Peter Pit. These fools wanna talk crazy about how we ball like a Gills Arena clip. When we pull up, you ain't gotta be a meteorologist to see the drip. All up in your face like an optometrist, you front, you ain't seeing it. Cutscenes up like video games, man. This story, there's no need to skip. Insomnia Wuka and Corey, accuracy on max finna be and that means we don't miss. You know what I'm talking about, baby. Insomnia Wuka and Corey Insomnia Wuka. And you know I'm a winner, and you know I'm a stunner. And like those Texas boys, when I pull up, I got them saying, hold up.
Damn. Yeah, the sample was creative. Drums are very tough too. I fuck with the drums heavy. Let this ride out for a bit. Need some Piccolo memes? The Piccolo memes are so funny, bro. They are so funny. Yeah, I like the structure of it. I like the structure of it for sure. I just wanted to let it ride out to get a better gist. Perfect. Yeah, man, this is what I love to see. This is what I love to see is because you can just tell that current Onwuka is like in such like a go mode right now. Like it's insane. Well done, well fucking done. Let's talk about it. Let's break it down. Let's get into it. So we're gonna talk about 3 things here. Talk about the instrumental. We're talking about vocals. And we're talking about the overall theme of Pull Up. So obviously unreleased, so we're not gonna go too hard on this one, right? But instrumental, absolutely fantastic, especially for like where it's at. And like who's on this instrumental. I heard it and I just knew Onwuka was gonna fucking kill it for sure. I just knew it. Just because the instrumental is just very Onwuka type. But the instrumental mix solid. Nothing that I would really change on this one at all. Drums cut through nicely. Everybody sounds nice on the instrumental. Nothing's really clashing or too overbearing. Yeah, no real gripes with the instrumental mix. Instrumental Shining Star, on the other hand. Man. I do like the structure, but I feel like the melodies are such a big part of this. Melodies are just such a big part of this. And drums are up there too, though. Let's go melodies, man. Let's go melodies for sure. It has this like mean, dark, almost kind of. It pushes something, you know, and it hits that sweet spot. So I'm gonna go with the melodies for sure. Instrumental solid, definitely melodies. Let's talk vocals, vocal mix, especially for a work in progress that's not finished. Really, really solid. And again, levels are good, quality's good. For a work in progress, this is definitely a really, really solid mix. Nothing that I would like really, really gripe about this one. You know what I mean? Definitely not. Definitely not. So, vocal mix solid. Vocal Shining Star. You know, I don't know, I was going to say flow and cadence and delivery, man, but the writing, to be honest with you, the writing from everybody across the board was really, really well done. I'm going to go with the writing on this one, to be completely honest with you. Yeah, let's go writing, for sure. Let's definitely go writing, 100%. So, instrumental solid, definitely the melodies, vocal solid, definitely the writing and lyrics. Let's talk theme. Obviously, some unreleased, you know, aesthetics going on here. So obviously this cover is subject to change, right? But yeah, no. Aesthetics on point, especially for an unreleased. Overall theme pull up. I mean, Onwuka kind of came through with a really, really good kind of explanation here. It definitely has the smooth flow. It's definitely all that, but then on top of it, it's just like it's pure Onwuka at his best, for sure, 100%. You could just tell with the writing and how everything kind of pans up. It's one of those ones where it'll be like a rare feature, right? And you go back and listen to it, and you're like, damn, I fucking killed that, and that's a feature. You know what I mean? Which is not a bad thing, but it's just like, holy shit, you know what I mean? And then of course, like Pull Up, it does have that like get up and go or get up in your face kind of vibe. So I do get a high energy from this as well. So, but well done, my friend. Well done. That was great unreleased. I would love to see more of this. Well done. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Onwuka and Insomniac. Make sure you go follow Insomniac on SoundCloud and go follow Onwuka on Twitter. We're only one follower away from 720 or 11 away from 730. So go show him some love on the Bird app. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. So we upload 2 times per week. Every Thursday, every Saturday, full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, all that jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists in the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Fucking Nightbot came through and spammed the chat, did he? Jesus Christ. He just let off all the commands at once, man. Holy shit. Glad you get my flow and style. Yeah, of course. Of course. Yeah, no doubt, Onwuka. Love your submissions, my friend. Absolutely. Absolutely. But last but certainly not least, we got the homie Ghost up next. A very, very talented multi-genre producer came through with a Dropbox link. This one is a different kind of vibe from what I've been showing you. Make another album for an artist that will be out summertime next year, hopefully. Shit. All right, let's pop this open a new tab. Let's see what we got here in the Dropbox, my friends. I'm down. It is with a bot blicky, literally. Yeah, I know. Like, what the fuck, Nightbot? You just fucking spam all the commands at once, man. It's supposed to be like every 5 chats or something like that. It's been bugged for quite a while. I think I have to update it. But anyways, regardless. Like I said, Ghost, a very, very talented multi-genre producer, came through with some unreleased DME project, Afro Sexy Drill type beat, 155 BPM, Copra Diamond. Okay. Shit, let's get into it. I'm down. Let's go.
Be so fucking crazy that it must be Ghost produced.
Shaman Beats.
Get it, baby. Oh shit. What the fuck? Very like a rainy night, kind of almost Sunday, you know what I mean? Sunday, rainy night, candle lit, and the whip this would be OP, I agree. One of my favorite loops I've ever been sent. Oh man. I don't want to do too much with the drums. I agree. I agree. I feel like you made the right choice by doing that. It still hits. It still fills up the space, but it's very still sample heavy, and it just gives a good... It's a nice middle ground. Loop has too much going on. Yeah, for sure. I love the sample. It's so well utilized. Well done. Well fucking done. If I did more, I didn't know if it would be crowded. Yeah, no, smart move. Smart move. I probably would have done the same, to be honest with you. Very smart. I love that sample. It's so well used, man. Love it. Wow. That's one of my favorites in a while, man. That's one of my favorites out of Ghost. Holy shit. Holy shit. Let's break it down. Let's talk about it. So obviously no vocals, right? So we're gonna talk about two things. Talk about the instrumental and talk about the overall theme of this instrumental. So first off, instrumental mix right where it needs to be, especially with like these drums and the sound selection. It has this like softer kind of mix, but it's still very loud. Everything still punches properly and nothing's clashing too overbearing. But the mix here is so like, it's fine tuned, you know, because it's like the kicks aren't fucking slamming. It has like a little bit of a softer mix to complement the track itself, right? Yeah, I'm a big fan of this mix because, like I said, the levels are good. Nothing like that I really noticed that was like super clashy or anything like that. The sound selection's great. Yeah, no, definitely no gripes. Like even with the sample, much like Ghost said in the chat, you know, sometimes when you start to do too much, it might sound like too much, you know, and it throws off the mix on top of it. You know what I mean? So I feel like everything was like really, really well utilized in this for sure. So instrumental mix solid, instrumental shining star. I mean, the sample's crazy. The sample's fucking crazy. But the drums are up there too. And you know what though? You know what I'm gonna go with on this one? You could argue drums. You could definitely argue the sample, but the structure. The structure made this such a pleasure to listen to, and the structure is gonna like help an artist so much, you know, because it's just one of those like free canvases, right, where you can just fucking run wild. And I feel like the structure really, really benefits this instrumental for sure, because it's not doing too much, you know. It has time to breathe, you know. Sample carried, yeah, no, sample's crazy. But yeah, I'm gonna go structure on this one for sure. So instrumental solid, definitely structure. Let's talk theme. Obviously unreleased aesthetics, right? But you know, it definitely has that like Afro drill type. I agree. It's very much on point with those types of instrumentals for sure. So that's the style that obviously Ghost and crew were going for, and I feel like they fucking nailed it. You know what I mean? I feel like they fucking nailed it. Structure, I wanted to have it perfect. I think you fucking nailed it for sure. Structure, no doubt. Well done, my friend. Well done. Huge shout out to homie Ghost. Thank you so much for the submission, my friend. Much love. Well fucking done. Make sure you go follow Ghost on Twitter, by the way. Ghost is only 6 followers away from 540, so make sure you go show him some love on the Bird at my friends. Of course, every artist featured in today's episode and every single episode will be linked in the description of the YouTube re-upload. Of course, make sure you subscribe to the Music Mondays YouTube channel if you haven't already. We're approaching 330 subscribers. We upload 2 times per week, every Thursday, every Saturday. Full podcast episodes, exclusive segments, and all that good jazz over there on the channel. Make sure you go show these artists on the channel some love, baby. Let's get it. Alrighty, my friends. Well done. And that concludes episode 234 of the Music Mondays podcast, man. We had a stacked fucking night. Let's give some shout outs, let's show some love, and let's close it out. So, you guys know the deal, man. Huge shout out to everybody in the chat that came through and showed love tonight. You guys were fucking killing it. We peaked again at like 14 viewers tonight, which is fucking fantastic because, you know, the show is still relatively small, but at the same time, you know, we've done so well with our community that it's just continuing to grow, man. So, I'm very proud of all you guys and everything that we've done, man. But per usual, first off, and like I said, give some shit to the motherfucking chat. Let's see here. Huge shout out to anybody that came through and showed love. Huge shout out to the homie Ghost coming through with another 7 months. Thank you so much, King. Thank you. Huge shout out to homie Sam's Raps. Huge shout out to homie Onwuka. Huge shout out to the homie Dennis. And huge shout out to anybody again that lurked and chilled and just came through, want to show love, even if you didn't type or you know, you just want to hang out in the chat, that's fine too. So huge shout out to anybody in here that was kind of kicking it, man. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you. Let's see. Huge shout out to everybody that submitted as well tonight, man. We had a stack of submissions. Huge shout out to all of our Music Mondays patrons. Jordan, Laveries, TDG, King Mark, and Kruker. Thank you guys so much for being Music Mondays patrons. Huge shout out to the homie Sam's Raps, Lucha Libro, Lozo, Slugboys ENT, Derek, Thomas Marcus, Brayden, Mosto Kimon, Rip Bands, Teflon, Mike Body, the homie Dennis, Offspring Mysterious, Rail G, Soapy, Jordan, Wesley, Filter, Royale Michael, Onwuka, and of course the homie Ghost. Thank you guys so much for all of your submissions. You're all fucking wonderfully talented, and I hope I fucking nailed it for you tonight. A huge shout out to, again, anybody else that does submit or came through or just want to come kick it, man. You fucking wonderful. Thank you. You guys know the deal, man. This episode will be uploaded on the Music Mondays Patreon tonight, and you can catch it this Thursday on all audio platforms and this Saturday on YouTube. So make sure you keep your eyes peeled for that. Submissions will be live for episode 235 tomorrow. So make sure you submit for episode 235 tomorrow. Follow us on social media at All Music Mondays. Stay up to date with pretty much everything that we're doing, man. So, you guys know the dealio. You guys know the motherfucking dealio. And of course, massive shout out to quite literally the community, the staff team. All you guys are fucking wonderful. The show has been absolutely fantastic recently, so no gripes, no complaints, no anything like that. We're full steam ahead for our summer event for 2025, so keep your eyes peeled for any announcements when it comes to that too. So lots of big stuff going on for when it comes down to the summer and when it comes down to Music Mondays. You guys know the deal, man. Everything will continue. The grind continues. So submissions will be live tomorrow for episode 235. And you can see this episode live on audio platforms this Thursday and YouTube this Saturday. And of course, like I said, make sure you follow us on socials at All Music Mondays. Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, Tumblr, Threads, TikTok, Blue Sky, wherever you're at, we're at. So make sure you go follow us on your preferred social media and stay up to date with everything that we have going on here at Music Mondays. And I quite literally stream 5-6 days a week. I'm live, usually in here, just doing some watch party shit, just kicking it, talking smack, and all that good jazz. We're gonna be getting back into some speedrun content here on the channel soon, so lots of good stuff going on outside of Music Mondays as well. Make sure you come stop by the stream and come say what's up to the kid. And shit, make sure you follow, subscribe below. Everything linked below. All of our socials, all of my socials, all that good jazz is linked down below. Make sure you go check us out and go follow us wherever you are at on social media. But that does it, man. That does it. Huge shout out to all you guys. You guys are fucking wonderful. Thank you. It's been your boy Zombslace. We'll see you tomorrow, and we'll see you next week for episode 235. Take care, be safe. I love you all, and we'll see you next time.